now. So I think before we start, we need to make people understand the fact that we are streaming on Zoom platforms, and if we would like for you to just join on the one.
So, yeah, basically if you're joining via Zoom, you don't have to like join the one on YouTube. You can just stick to the Zoom or so I don't know if YouTube people can hear the audio anyway. Let me just ask, maybe they can let us know. Please, if you're watching this event from the YouTube platform, please can you let us know if you can hear the audio in the Zoom meeting?
The audio is fine. The audio is fine.
Okay. Okay, they said they can't, so I think we're ready then. So hi everyone. I think let me put on my video so everyone can see me. I don't know if it's my video on. Hi everyone, welcome to the event. I'm so glad that you're able to join us today. So like if you don't know, I don't know how you were invited, but we're hosting this event for the first time, and this one is specifically kind of tailored to people who are like prospective students and looking forward to come to the United States. And for next week, Saturday, we're going to be having the one that is majorly for those who are already in the US and trying to like get a job or something, it's more tailored towards them. But you are welcome to attend both events. So, yeah, you very much welcome to attend any of them. And I'm really, really, really glad to see you all here. And I would appreciate if you can turn on your video. It's fine. That's why we're doing this via Zoom so that people that want to share their faces can do that. I hope you guys are seeing me because my video is on, but I don't know if you guys are seeing me. But hopefully you are seeing me, and I also want to see you all too. And I am so glad to like, yay, hi. Thank you, thank you. And one more important notice, please, if you join on Zoom, do not join on YouTube because the audio is going to mess the audio up. So I just want you to stick to one platform. So basically the our first guest is going to start exactly at 4:20 p.m. if I'm correct. Let me look at the agenda again. Yes, at 4:20, and the topic for that is going to be life in the USA, like after you arrive in the US, what else, and all that stuff. And then at 4:50, we're going to have our second speaker who's going to be speaking about how to find a school in the US, because that's one thing people always struggle with. We get questions like, Aladi, how do we find a school? I know I've made a video about it, but it's just like, it's my perspective, but we're going to see that from another perspective. So that's the second topic for the day. And then the third topic for the day is going to be getting a visa. We know that is one of like the craziest things. And if you follow me on YouTube, you know that I am one of those students who had to go for their visa interview 3 times and it wasn't funny. So we're going to be having someone that just went once who nailed it at just one time. We're going to have him speak to us today on how to get a visa, because even if you get the admission and you don't have any visa, there's no way you're going to be here. So I hope that this event enriches you at the end of the day. And I want to say a big thank you to everyone who put this event together. My team at Abroad, I am really grateful. They are all volunteers. And I am so happy to know that there are people who are willing to like help without being paid, which is amazing. So thank you so much. And those of you watching from YouTube, you're not left out. We're so happy that you are able to join us. And like I said, this event, once the speakers are done speaking, we're going to be having a short period where if you have any story or you have any contribution, we're going to be giving a few minutes for you guys to talk about it. And then after that, we'll have the question section, which is one of the things that I know might have brought you, being able to ask your own question. So, and yeah. And after that, we're going to have the big guy, which is the networking. If you are like, this gives you the opportunity to be able to network with other students. Maybe if you're trying, I don't know, our co host Mary is going to probably talk more about that, how to be able to like, if let's say you're going to Georgia State University, maybe we can, try to look for a group of students who are also going to that university. Kind of like we'll figure out how Mary is going to like play that out. That's not my duty, but that's the last thing on the table. So I would stop talking now and give you time to digest the information. And yeah, welcome once again.
Just as a suggestion, so we don't just stay and be looking at ourselves while the audio is mixed. Maybe a good suggestion would be what would be for the first speaker. A couple of people say maybe their expectations from today, so that we are bearing that in mind, because we have such a rich program that is going to happen today. But yeah, maybe someone can say, "Oh, what do you expect from today?" While we wait for our first speaker, so that we're not just all on mute staring at ourselves. Actually, ready. If you're ready for me, I am actually the first speaker. So if
Yay!
bring me in, and then so we can get it done.
Okay. Okay. So, well, I didn't know you already joined. Oh my God. I'm so happy to have you here, Miriam. So thank you so much. Thank you guys. Our first speaker of the day is Miriam Adeyemi of the Teka Valley. I don't know, Teka Valley. And she's a data analyst, and she's with tons of experience. I'll just let her do the talking. I'll do her the honor of introducing herself. And yeah, Miriam, I'm so happy. Like, I'm super excited to have you here. Thank you so much. So, I'll, yeah, all right. Please, if mute your this thing if you're not talking, please.
Sorry, Aladi, if you can hear me, you can start the recording now.
Okay. Thanks.
Hi everyone, good morning. I am in the car. I don't know if that's okay. I am in transit, so I can cover my face if it's okay. If you don't want to see my face, that's fine.
No, we want to see it.
Okay, all right. I'm so sorry. I have to take this in the car. Okay, so my name is Miriam Adeyemi, and I am the founder of Tekaveli. I'm sure a lot of you have been seeing Tekaveli on social media. We're kind of loud on social media, and probably it's because of what we do, right? I mean, so let me go straight to the business of today. I'm going to be telling you about life in the UK, and as an international student, I am an international student. So, and what are the benefits that come with that? I'm going to be sharing that today. Okay, so first of all, I came to the US, let me say, at a very later part of my year. I'm over 40, and I came to the US with 2 kids. And I heard Aladi saying that getting visa, yes, it's very difficult for was a 2 years program. It was not easy because I came with my kids. I had to take care of my kids and also take care of my classes. But to the glory of God, I graduated with honors, and today the story is different. All right. So I'll start saying that there are lots of advantages if you abroad. You get exposed to a lot of perks, especially as an international, because they believe that you brought in a lot of money, you spend money, you pay taxes, and then you should benefit from all the things that you are entitled to. Right. The only thing is that as an international student, you cannot work while you're in school. But if you're lucky to get graduate assistantship, which I was fortunate to get, what that means is that you work in the school and you are paid stipend. And that stipend will help you take care of some things like books, materials in school and everything, and then be able to save some little change, And then again, as a graduate assistant, you are entitled to like 50% cut of your tuition. I also benefited from that. I was privileged to pay just 50% of my tuition, and I was also lucky that the department that employed me in school there also paid another 25% off from the 50% that was left, and the remaining 25% was spread over the period of my school. So I wasn't really paying so much. So a lot of people tell you you don't have the money, you don't have the financials to come to the US to do this. Another good thing about US is that they will not tell you to pay all the school fees at once. They won't tell you to bring everything at once. Again, depending on the school you're going, they will give you the opportunity to pay instrumentally. They'll give you the opportunity to pay in bits, and those are the options available for you if you want to toe that path. And a lot of us, I can see, benefited from something like that. And we were also lucky that we got CPT. CPT is internship. So after my first year, I was very fortunate. I got a CPT to work. Instead of the 3 months, I got 6 months CPT. And that paid me really well because it was a paid internship that I got. So it wasn't because I was intelligent. It wasn't because I was smart. Let me say smartness was part of it, because again, you have to keep applying for jobs. You have to keep going to career fairs. We went to a lot of career fairs. A lot of people know my partner Toyosi. She was very, very instrumental, and she helped a lot of people here when we are here. Because one thing is for you to have the information. Another thing is for you to have the group of people that have the same drive like you to continue to push and move towards succeeding. Right. So, and I can say that despite the fact that things are not easy here, if you position yourself with the right set of people, you get things done easily and faster. And don't run away from information. Information, I have one mantra. Information is what makes the next person better than you. Anyone you see today that is feeling like I know it all, what makes that person better than you is the information that person has that you don't have. So I beg you guys that everywhere you see they are sharing valuable information, please go there. The plan, see, a lot of people don't know the power of social media. Social media has changed a lot of things, changed the world. As a matter of fact, COVID changed the way things are done now. For some of you that know that we Techability runs training. Now we do our training 100% online, and the volume of registration that we get, enrollment is amazing. So if you want to be on social media, use it to pull information that will help you. Like this one Aladi put together. Thank you so much, Aladi, for this. This is really, really impactful. Because today a lot of people will go with information that will change your story. All right. So let me tell you some of the perks, some of the things, the benefits of coming here to study as an international student. Right. You get exposed to global perspective about things are done. All right. You are exposed to a lot of things that maybe back home or wherever you're coming from, you don't have access to. So you're exposed to all of that. And then again, you meet different kind of people from different parts of the world. Like when we were in school, we met people from Bangladesh, people from India, from China, people from Libya, people from a lot of places all over the world. came together and we were all in the same class. Like, they were, like I say, it depends on the kind of people you move with also in the class. They will help you to channel your path. They will give you information. Right. So again, you position yourself for global opportunities. I always like using myself as example because when you use yourself as example, people relate. They see themselves in your shoe. Because we are the same company, right? They feel you. They understand your pain. And they kind of like empathize and say, okay, if I find myself in this position, this person told this line, I was able to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the person was able to succeed doing this. If I told this part, will I succeed? Can I talk to that person because that person has gone through the process before? Don't be too artsy. Like I said, I celebrated my 40th birthday in America when I was still in school. I was not shy. I was among the oldest people in the class. I came to US with 2 children. The first one now is going to be 14 next month. The second one is already 11. And I use myself as an example. I came here to give my children a good life. I came here to position. When I was in Nigeria, I was working in a very big company. I was working in Nestle, and I worked in Nestle for over 8 years. I rose to the position of manager in Nestle before I left. If you know anybody on social media today that works with Nestle, just ask them about brand marketing. They know me very well. I manage a very big brand. But do you guys know that I abandoned everything? I was living in Lekki, in my house. I rode brand new car. As of 2015, there was a car that came out. I bought that car with my full cash. It was 6.2 million. I wrote a check to a Nissan, and I paid for that with my money. But I abandoned everything, and I came to the US. Can you guys beat that? My salary there was close to $1 million every month. I was living the life I wanted to. When I was living, people were like, "Are you sure what you're doing? You want to leave everything? This big." I was a big girl. With driver, I got base in my house. A lot of things you guys need to see my house in there. It's still there. But I left everything. You guys know what? Today I have 2 businesses registered in the US within 4 years that I came here. Now I am the founder of Techability. Techability is gaining grounds now. Honestly, I'm afraid where that business is going. It's gaining traction with a lot of people, white guys wanting to fund it, but I don't want to rush into things like that. I'm just telling you what you have to gain if you make that decision. Sometimes it's a very difficult decision to make, guys. It's a very, very difficult one because you feel like, okay, I'm going to start all over. I had friends that were in US when I was coming, and they were like, "Man, there's no big girl here. US is a leveler. It will others shoulders. US will cut it." Yes, it did. But guys, what I earn every month like triples my salary that was feeling like a big girl in Nigeria. Today, I have my 9 to 5. I have 2 businesses. Discuss app is an app that we just launched. It doesn't matter whether you are an international student. America is going to give you the ground to do whatever you can do. And that is what I'm trying to tell you. Yes, it's not easy. The culture, the accent, I have an accent. I don't have American accent. Well, with my kids, kids get the kids can change easily. They adapt very easily, and they're so young. My kids speak American English. Me, I'm still Nigerian, and I have Nigerian accent. That's you can take that out. Sometimes when you talk in a group, they kind of look at you like, okay, you got an accent, and be like, yeah, I have accent. And so what about it? I'm Nigerian, I'm African, and so you can't take that away from me. So that again, yes. And another thing, if you don't want to stay after studies, okay, let me finish with if you want to stay in America after your studies. If you want to stay in America, the opportunity is big for you. So just decide for yourself what you want to do. I told myself, I'm going to stay on this 9 to 5 that I'm doing for a while when I grow my 2 businesses. You see, I have 2 different businesses registered in the US. You can do whatever you want. They will not hold you. Legally. Right? So, and then that's another part that they talk about. As an international student, you stay in in the US legally. You have access, things that citizens have access to. The only thing is that you cannot vote, right? And you cannot contest because you're not yet a citizen. But every other thing that they have access to, you have. If I want to loan, I have access to it. I have credit cards, a lot of them, because being an international student gives you those opportunities. All right. And then if you want to go back home, if you feel, okay, I don't like this place, I want to go back to where I come from, let me tell you, if you go back home with the kind of information, education, exposure that you already have in the US, you're going to get a very high paying job when you go back to where you're coming from. Trust me, you're going to get a very high paying job. I wish am I still online? I don't want to overspend my time, but I'm trying to make everyone understand that being an international student could be a bone in the neck, but at the end of the day, you will enjoy that and you will not regret it. Okay? Again, pick the kind of people you move with. They will help you to achieve your dream. When you're coming to America, set your dream. What am I going to America to do? What is my goal? I want to go study. All right. I want to go get a degree. All right. What next after that? Okay. Today, it might not be for everyone, but like I say, all the people that we graduated together, some of them work in big tech companies right now. Like we're having a webinar next week, and I'm bringing one of the ladies that came in to America to study, and she has a green card, and she's working with one of the biggest tech companies in America today, and she will be speaking with us so that you guys will understand the process. There's a process in America, you can't jump it. So you have to wait for your time. But following the right process means seeking the right information and following the kind of people that will help you get that kind of information. And that's what we set out to do. Techability is doing a lot to enlighten people, pass information, share knowledge that will position you even in Nigeria. Some of the things I'm teaching right now, Nigeria is not even ready for it. That's the truth. Nigeria is not ready because they don't have the technology. They don't even understand it. I told you I worked in a big company when I was Nigerian for a long time. Some of the things I learned today, we were not even using it. Even the Excel that we said we were using, we didn't even understand it. Let me not go too much into that, but the thing is, when you come to a place like this, it's like you're catapulting yourself. Sometimes it's difficult, especially when it comes to the funding. But like I said, there are opportunities for you to work as a graduate assistant, and then they give you 50% cut from your tuition. And then if you're lucky enough, you get additional funding in the school because you work in the school. And then there's something a lot of us that are not graduate assistantship did not know. One of my friends wanted to go apply for something, and then when she got there, they gave her cut. And she was like, why? They said that you're working for the government. I said, I'm not working for the government, but they said your profile, because they know how to pull your background and check. They do background check. Say you work for government. Say I don't. Say don't you work for Texas A&M University? Say oh yes, as a graduate assistant. Say yes, that qualifies you. And we didn't know that. So there are some benefits that you get that even people in Nigeria that are telling you I want to help you do admission, they don't know some of these things until they come here. And I tell people that when I was processing my admission for Canada, I paid ₦500,000. At the end of the day, I didn't get nothing. It was when I decided I want to do it myself, I looked for people that know about it, people that have gone through it, that spoke with them. And they told me, this is it, do this, follow this. And I got my admission. Luckily for me, I was able to get my visa once, and that was it. So if you have any question, I don't know if I was able to cover a lot of things that I said I was going to talk about, but I think I did. Yeah, but life in the US could be boring. I don't know. It could be boring. Well, like I said, look for the right set of people to move with so you keep yourself busy and engaged. And then at the end of the day, you understand what is going on. Right? So do you have any question for me?
Yay. Thank you so much, Miriam. Miriam is a very busy person, though. She has one other meeting she needs to hop in, so I don't think she will be here till the question time. So we're going to give at least 10 more minutes to her to answer any question you might have. So our moderators, please, the one on YouTube and the ones on Zoom, please, can you check for any questions in the chat so that Miriam can take one or two of those before she leaves?
Yeah, I am on social media. I'm on Facebook as Miriam Adeyemi. Right. Just connect me on Facebook. You can ask me direct questions if you want to, please. Because I need to jump out of this call. They're already telling me to come in and continue my business. I was in a meeting. I had to jump out to take this. Okay. Yeah, just go to Instagram also. You see me as Miriam Adeyemi on Instagram also at Miss Mimi Official. At Miss Mimi Official on Instagram. You can ask me any direct question, anything you want to find out about, you're free to. We also have a platform on Tech-Ability called Tech-Ability Study Abroad group. You can find it on Telegram. You can join. We have a lot of people. This year alone in that group, 6 people got admission. 3 of them are already in the US. 2 people just got visa approval last week or 2 weeks ago. So we have people in that group that will help you with information even if I'm busy. So we have over 1,000 people in that group, with the same kind of ideas and goals. So you can join that, and then
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can pick out like some questions. So in case this is her name on Facebook, I was trying to find your own picture so that they can see Miriam Adeyemi. So that's it. Our moderators, any questions? Did you guys pick out any questions? Let me see. Say type. Okay, I think someone asked you how you were able to get visa with 2 kids or something like that on YouTube.
Yes, so for visa, you need to let your story be together. Let your story be together if you're going for your visa, please. Especially people, because I have a lot of people that have families that, when they come in, they be like, okay, can they take me with my 2 kids? Let your stories be together. Let all your documents be together. Be together means that don't say this in, maybe you've applied for visa before and you were denied. Let them know that they denied. You understand? Don't lie about it. And then the place you work also plays a very good role. Because when I said I work with this, and then they said, what is your role? And I said, I'm a product manager. And they be like, okay, tell me about it. And then she didn't even let me talk too much. She just told me, give me your children's passport. And she just gave me the white paper and said, we wish you good luck. And all of that. So let your stories be together. They don't like people that lie. You can't say you are this in one form that you feel. Again, if you're filled visa for Canada or UK, they have one database that they pull information from. They're going to pull your information from that. If they see any discrepancy, you have put yourself on the spot already. So if you have a copy of all those forms that you filled, bring them out when you're filling your form for F1 student visa. Make sure they tie, because all those things against you if there's any discrepancy. And then your bank statement, sometimes they don't ask you about that. Once you tell a story that is compelling and you're not shaking, you're not fidgeting, you're on the right path.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know if we can take one more questions. I'm trying to read out some of the questions. Oh my God, this one is too much. Someone said they are contemplating on choosing either MBA or business analytics course. I want to know what you can say on that.
Well, for me, I have business analytics, and the good thing about business analytics is that it gives you opportunities. It's very flexible. You can work in any industry, anywhere, any industry, hospitality, logistics, healthcare, marketing, sales, anyone, tech companies. A lot of tech companies today, they have business analysts, right? So MBA is business focused, just business. But data analytics, you are helping them to solve problems. MBA is just like, I would say it's high level, and sometimes if you do MBA, you're restricted, kind of. But data analytics, everybody wants to hijack you right now. Every industry wants you because they need somebody that will solve the problem for them. So that's what I would say from my experience. Right now, I choose on to LinkedIn now. I get messages every day. Do you know anybody that wants to take this job? I have a role for you. Send a mail, send your resume. I don't answer most of them because I'm not ready for them. So they will pull you from all angles because they need you. That's business analysis. It's a career of the future. I keep telling people. So if you guys want, you can see my LinkedIn page, my Facebook and my Instagram page. We're having a career webinar for data analytics next week. You can join. It's free just to hear from the experts. I'm bringing in somebody, a data analyst, in the US. So you can join to hear more from her because I don't think I will be able to finish all the questions.
Yeah. Okay. So Miriam, I don't want to keep you here more because I know you have other commitments. So I am so happy that you joined us. I'm really, really excited. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule to be here with us today. And and I'm sure everyone here do appreciate it, hearing story of someone that is not like the typical 20s, someone in their 20s, because I know most people that want to go abroad, they are mostly in their 20s. So getting that view from someone at in your age and all that stuff, it's really interesting to hear that you even came here with your 2 kids. So I'm really, really thrilled with that story. I know you on the surface levels. I didn't know that part of you. And thanks for sharing it with all of us here. I truly do appreciate. So
no problem.
Yeah, thank you. We'll let you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, I know some of you probably want to know the Telegram group and all that. I totally would have loved to discuss that with her before today. So I don't have access to it, but I will contact her and see probably before the end of this event if we can get that information and pin it somewhere for y'all to see. Mary, you're the one moderating. So what's next on the agenda and how much time do we have?
All right, so it's about 4:33 now using Nigerian time. And the next person to talk is going to be Ojonoka Atawadi. She's going to be speaking on choosing a university. So is she on this call?
Yeah, I think I saw her before. Yay! 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 Our latest tech graduates. Welcome, 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 welcome. So the little I know about her, I would say she's a recent graduate who just landed a super amazing job opportunity, and she's in the process of transitioning, to the big year life. Welcome, my darling sister. Thank you for gracing us with your face today. Thanks.
Thank you so much. So would I be able to share my screen?
Let me see. Let me try to allow. Yeah, you'll be able to share your screen. So.
All right, so thank you everyone for being here. Very excited to be here and to supporting Aladi. I'm happy to be part of the event. I'm talking you through on choosing a university.
that would be amazing. My YouTube name is not Amazing. I'm also a social media consultant, marketing and PR lead, and I do technology. So yeah, so
Excuse me, Noka. Noka, I think there is an echo in your audio, and I don't know. Do you have your any other device connected? Because it's echoing and the audio is kind of joined. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, everyone, just be patient. She'll be back. And please, if you're in here, just mute yourself so that we don't have more background noise. If you have any questions, just drop them in the chat so that our moderators can look at them and bring them to my attention. Please just type them there while we're waiting. And thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. I think it's still echoing. I don't know.
There still seems to be an echo.
okay, 1 second.
Okay,
I think that was a different voice. That was from the moderator, Mary. So, I don't know. Yeah, I know, like bad audio. Speak again. I think the echo is there. I don't know what's causing it anyway. You guys will probably have to manage. I don't know what's really causing it. It seems to me like, let's see. Ooh.
Okay. So the first thing you would want to know for you to gather your admission and application requirements. So with this step, you just need to know the general overview or just information about admission in US in general. You need to know things like the deadline, the time, like opening window when people usually the two windows when people usually like come in, that's like the one at spring. You need to know the exams you need to write depending on the school you're going to. So that's the first step. And then the second for you to create a list of schools based on the information gathered. So you're going to gather information like deadlines, the program, requirements, exam, all of those. So you need to just make a list of schools. You can't just start by like having one school. So it would be good to have about 5 to 10 schools just to begin with, because I mean not every school will make this. So the first thing to do would be for you to find out the cost of being an institution. This is really important because you need to be able to go to a place where if or without money you can kind of survive. So you don't want to go to a place that if you do not get money, the school fees is like $50,000. You cannot pay. So it's really important for you to find out the cost of living an institution. And then
Excuse me, Ojanokar, excuse me. I think people are really complaining that they can't hear. I don't know what's going on. Is there any device in your background that has this is streaming on any other platform like YouTube or anything?
No.
Or is it your apartment?
Can the next speaker go on when I'm like,
Yeah, I think so that we can benefit because people are really, really complaining and I can't hear as well. So I'll give you some time to sort it out. I don't know, Mr. Augustus, I think I saw you earlier. I don't know if you're ready so that we can take your presentation and allow Noka to like get her audio fixed. Mr. Augustus, if you're speaking, we can't hear. Our famous Mr. Augustus from YouTube, my guy. Welcome. I'm sure you guys, if you watch our YouTube, you already know Mr. Augustus. And if you don't know him, it's been like.
We know him. We know him. Did I read something? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I think I can hear you. I don't know of the other people, but please, if you can hear him, don't just say, just put it in the chat so that we don't end up, jumbling the audio. Just use the hand.
Okay, so the problem I have now is I'm speaking with my phone, which happens to have a better quality, but I cannot hear you guys talk. So it's either we have a good audio that you have right now, and I don't know what you guys are saying, I can only read the text, or we have a bad audio. So I don't know which one you guys would prefer. But if you can hear me clearly, okay. If you can hear me clearly, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Sorry if I cannot hear what you're saying. I'm really sorry. But, okay. Okay, good. If you have anything that you want to say, you have to use the text. You have to use the chat box, okay? Okay, good. Awesome. I'm going to try and share my screen and you guys will see it. I'm so happy that I had this slide because I would feel bad that the person that spoke before me, they have a nice little slide and I don't have it. So, okay, good. I'm trying to share my screen. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yes.
We can't see. No.
Okay, sorry, can you guys see my screen now? I hate Zoom. No, you cannot see my screen. Okay. It's not going on well. Aladi, is there something you have to do to allow my screen to show up?
I think the last time I've given permission to. Oh, he can't hear, so let me type. You have permission.
Oh. Hey, Augustus, are you sharing your screen from your phone or you are sharing it from your laptop?
He can't hear, so you can only chat with him.
Oh, okay. says I have permission to share, but it's not showing up.
Okay, I should ask him if he's sharing with phone or laptop.
Obviously, that he's live with his iPhone, but I think he's also trying to share from. If you want to share a slide, then that means the slide has to be on his iPhone for him to be able to share.
He has permission. The person that said I should give him permission, I already did. That's why all the guests there, everyone has permission to share screen. So, well, let's try the bad audio which he talked about. I don't know how bad it is. Okay, we can see now.
Yay, sorry. So this is my 92 slide, and I'm going to be talking about US F1 visa generally. Now, just a little bit of introduction about myself. Okay. Sorry, can you guys see my screen? Yes.
If you can see his screen, just type in the chat.
Okay,
yes,
awesome.
thanks.
So okay, cool. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about US F1 visa. US F1 visa. But before I go ahead and do that, I'm just gonna introduce myself. My name is Eligibility Augustus Uluwadubi. I'm a student in the United States because I'm still on F1 visa, but I currently work as a research associate for a research company in Research Angle Park in North Carolina. And I'm going to be sharing my experience with USF1 visa and also what I've noticed over time as far as like getting approved for USF1 visa is concerned. Now, the first thing I'd like to point out is there's no magic formula for USF1 visa. I know a lot of people make promises that they can get you visa, they can do this, they can do that. Really, there's no a one-size-fits-all kind of information as far as USF1 visa is concerned. And I have this nice little slide to get you guys in the mind frame of how the whole visa process works. Okay, so it says guilty until proven otherwise. So by default, whenever you walk into like a visa interview, the person that is interviewing you sees you as an intending immigrant. That is just the summary of it is going to be very, very difficult to present your case. The first person that presented said something about your case, like you should have a very solid story. I'm going to talk about that very soon. But the basis of your story rests on your why. Seriously, if you can answer this question genuinely, this is going to be very, very helpful. You can answer the question genuinely, ask why are you going to the US? There are so many other countries that you can go to. You can go to Germany. I'm going to give you a list after this presentation. You can go to any other country that you want. Why do you choose US over all other countries? Okay. Why are you going for that particular program that you're going for? And most importantly, why are you going now? You know, those three whys are very, very important. If you cannot convince yourself, it will be very difficult for you to convince another person that is seeing you as an intended immigrant by default. You know, so you have to have a very good answer for this. And for most part, when people think why US, it could have been any other country. If you're talking about people going there and say, oh, because US is very developed. Well, Germany is also very developed. UK is also very developed. Australia is very developed. Canada is very developed, right? So the point is you have to see beyond, oh, it's just a developed country and it's the best place in the world. That is not true. Okay. So why US? Maybe your school is one of the very few schools in the world that offers the program that you're going for.
maybe you've been interacting with a particular professor in your school that happens to be a lead person in that field that you're interested in. You see why, like, I'm trying to get you in that mind frame as why US, not just because it's a big country, not just because it's beautiful in the US, not just because it's not in the US, okay? Not just because it's a developed country, but because there's a particular reason why you're going to the US. Because, well, maybe the program that you're looking for is specifically in the US. Maybe US is a world leader in that particular program. Maybe your school is one of the very few schools in the world that offer that particular program. Maybe there's a professor that you've been interacting with and he happens to be in your field and you want to be under his tutelage, things like that. That's why US. Think along that line. Now, why this program? It's a very tricky question because more often than not, they will not ask you this question directly, right? But they want to see that you understand what you are doing. Take, for instance, I studied physics in Nigeria, for example. I'm just using an example. I did not study physics in Nigeria, okay? But let's imagine that I studied physics in Nigeria, right? And I am coming I'm coming to the US for grad school, and I'm telling the visa officer that I'm coming for master's in business administration, and I have never worked in my life in Nigeria. I just got done with my NYSC. Obviously, that is a very awful story because number one, MBA is very expensive. Number two, MBA is not meant for beginner. Good MBA program will not even admit you if you've not had any work experience whatsoever. So everything kills into your story. Why are you going for this program? Even if you are transitioning to a different field, maybe you've had work experience in that field. Maybe I studied physics and I've been working in a bank for 5 or 8 years, right? It is reasonable for me to want to get an MBA if it's going to help my career, right? Even though my undergrad is in physics or something that's not related to banking, I have had actual work experience in the bank, and I see that I need this MBA for me to progress my career. That is a very relatable story, if that makes sense to you guys. So this all boils down to, I know most of the time we really want to leave Nigeria. It's understandable. We really want to leave Nigeria, or we really want to leave our country, and we just take any admission that comes our way. And the sad thing about US visa is that the more you appear for interview and you get denied, the lower your chances of getting approval. That is just the basic truth. Because as time goes on, you start to appear desperate. Okay, so the point is, you want to get your story straight. Why are you going to the US? Why are you going for this particular program? And most importantly, why? Why now? Why are you doing it now? Why is it important that you go, that you get a degree now? Why is it important that you get into grad school now? Why is it important that you do this particular program now? Okay, take for instance Nigeria. We have like so many sector that is not doing well. I remember reading a particular visa transcript on Naira Land a couple of years ago, a couple of months ago, probably like 8 or 9 months ago, almost a year. And the guy was supposed to come here for his PhD in electrics or electronics or electricity something anyway. And he's been working for PhD for a while. And he appeared before the visa officer, and the visa officer asked him just question, what course are you going for? And he said, I'm going for PhD in electrical or something like that. Where have you been working? He has been working for PhD for a while. And that was the end of the conversation. You know why? Because even the visa officer knows that Nigeria is struggling with erratic power supply, right? So it only makes sense that if you can get people who would get training in the US or whatever and come back and help fix the problem. So the point is, you have to get your story right. You have to see a gap that would make you appear as somebody that would come back and bless the community, even though most of us would not. But, it is what it is. So why US? Why this program? Why now? Now, another thing that I would like to talk about is where. So I wrote something funny. This is something I used to tell my friends, okay? I would say, you are a Nigerian. Sorry for non-Nigerians that are here, but I'm from Nigeria, so it's easy for me to use Nigeria as an example. Imagine somebody coming from Kenya, applying for a Nigerian study visa to study in a college of education, and the person is spending close like 7 or 8 million naira just to study in college of education. That doesn't fit well. I mean, it doesn't align, because I believe there are so many other college of education in Kenya where you would not have to spend as much and get the same amount of education, if that makes any sense. So the point of this is that your school matters a lot. Now, not everybody's going to get into Harvard, for sure. Not everybody's going to get into Cornell or Yale or whatever, or Texas A&M or all these big schools. Not everybody's going to get into big schools like that. But make sure that you're not going to a mushroom school. Mushroom school in the sense that these are schools that are designed just to collect international students money. Okay, so their ultimate goal is really not to get you into the US. The ultimate goal is to have you make some deposits and then give you I-20 and good luck with you and your I-20 at the embassy. So the point is, I wish the presentation for selecting school I wish you guys listen to the presentation for selecting school before I say all of this, because it's gonna give you an idea of what I'm talking about. But the point there is that don't just go for any house school. You don't have to go for top tier school. You don't have to go for Ivy League school. But there are schools that are just perfect for international students. I hope the person that's going to talk about school cover this, but there are different categories of school in the US. You have like tier 1 school, tier 2 school, tier 3 schools. This is something you can also research by yourself. But most of the time, when people submit application, you want to focus on tier 2 school. That's kind of like in the middle of everything. Sorry for the noise, that's my dryer. Then it's dryer. Okay. So you want to focus a lot of your application on tier 2 school. Those are they are called R2 research school. Okay, you have R1, you have R2, you have R3. So let's say you're applying for a program. Let's say you have the budget to apply for 5 schools, for example. Okay, you can try your luck based on your profile. If you have a good GPA, if you have a good GPA, good GRE scores, you have a nice profile, you can apply to 1 or 2 schools in the tier 1 school. Just try your luck, who knows. And then a lot of your focus should be on the R2 school, which are, number 1, these schools, the competition is not crazy, and also they have good funding most of the time, and they are not shabby schools, okay? And number three, your chance of getting to schools like that is higher, and you can submit an application or 2 to R3 schools. They are called safety schools. Okay. They are called safety schools. So basically, if you can check, I think the easiest way to see all this ranking around is checking just it's called Carnegie's University Research Ranking. But that's not my business at this point. My point is, your school matters a lot. Don't just settle for any house school and wing it. People do that a lot with visa. Don't wing it, okay? It's a serious business. Make sure you are going to a good school, not the mushroom school. And the next thing is who will pay for it, okay? I have a YouTube channel that I'm so sad that I don't post there as often as I should, but I'm always an advocate of funding, okay? Because I believe that funding plays a significant role. I came to the US without full funding. I got instant tuition, so instead of paying about $15,000 or thereabout, I think I paid about $5,000 myself. So my first semester, I paid out of pocket, in quotes, and then for the remaining part of my program, my school paid the entire tuition. I also got some stipend. Point is, if you're really serious, first, okay? If you're coming for MBA, for example, or business analytics, for example, or any of these professional programs, your chances of getting funding is not as high as compared to somebody that's coming for, let's say, the life science program or STEM, computer science or biology or physics or chemistry or cell and molecular biology and all of those things. Those fields get funded a lot, okay? Now, it will be very absurd for you to go to the embassy with an I-20 that shows that you are supposed to pay $50,000 and you are coming here to study biology. The visa officer will know that you've not done your homework very well, because no sane person will accept that kind of admission offer. Because almost every program in the US is sponsored at graduate level as far as biology and all this life science program is concerned. Now, the story is going to be different if you're coming in for MBA and you have $50,000 as your tuition. Yes, the visa officer will understand, this is a professional level course. MBAs are not meant for beginners. Good MBA programs are meant for mid-level career people, right? Which means you most probably can afford to pay it, or the company that you work for can afford to pay the tuition. You see why, again, it is not smart that you just finish NYSC and you apply for MBA in America, because you cannot even afford it. How are you going to align your story for the visa officer, if that makes any sense. So point is, you also have to, while you're thinking about school, while you're thinking about your why is US, why is this program, you also have to think about where the money is going to come from. Okay? So one thing is, it is easy to go to the embassy and lie, or people lie all the time. I'm not going to come here and tell you that, everybody that appear at the embassy and get their visa did not lie. Some people lie. So it's one thing to get there and say, well, my uncle, sister, father, brother, mother is going to pay for it. Whereas you have no uncle, sister, father, brother, mother. You're just praying that it will work out. And then if you get the visa, and you get there, you will know that it's a whole different story. America that you see in movies is different from America that is the real America. People suffer, people with working sense are homeless in America. I will not lie to you. So you also have to be genuine to yourself about answering this question, like, who will pay for it? Can you afford it? Are programs mostly funded in your field? If they are mostly funded, then you should make sure that you get some level of funding, even if it's not 100%. Make sure that you get some level of funding. Who is your sponsor? If you're using a sponsor, right? If let's say your program is $50,000 and your school is paying 50% of it, and you have to show that you have the balance, sometimes you need a sponsor. I also used a sponsor myself. Who is sponsoring? The further you get away from your immediate family, the less believable it is that person is paying that much for your education. Okay, so if your parents are sponsoring you, they want to know how many kids does your parents have, and they afford it, fine. If it's your uncle, but the further you got away with your father, your brother, uncle, sister, it becomes less believable. Okay, so think about that very well too. And also, another question to think about is, what is your end goal? In short, what's your plan after school? They're going to ask you this question at the embassy. Like, they would directly ask you, what is your plan after school? Now, what you should think about is, they don't want to hear you say, well, I plan to sit in America and live in America for the rest of my life. That is automatically, like, denial immediately. They're not even going to stress it. So you should think of how you present your end goal during your visa interview. Okay, what is your end goal? What do you plan to do with this degree? If you're coming here for theology, if you're a Reverend Father in Nigeria, what's your plan goal? Well, my end goal is to get my master's in theology and go back and become a senior Reverend Father in Nigeria. You know what I mean? If you're coming here for computer science, my goal is to come back here and get my degree, get the experience, and come back to Nigeria and become part of the fintech community that is growing crazily in Nigeria right now. You know, things like that. You must be able to point your end goal to back to Nigeria in one way or the other. Okay, so. And if you present your situation very well, it is something that people can relate to. Oh, you are coming here for cell and molecular biology. Well, my goal is to come back to Nigeria and become a research scientist, because there are very few research scientists in Nigeria. You know, things like that, right? So that's the idea. Is there any prospect for your program in Nigeria afterwards? You must find a way to present your course that, well, people, we need this course in Nigeria. Okay, that should be one of your ultimate goals. Now, this is just to sum up everything. Okay. What's your story? All of these things that I've pointed out to you guys, your why now, your ways paying for it, blah, 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 your program and all of that. You should craft all of that into a story. You need a story. Believe it or not, story sells, not just in anything, even in visa interview. People want to listen to your story. What do you have going on for you? Okay, you have to provide answers to those questions that I showed in the previous slide and make them into a story that fits your profile perfectly. You need to get your story straight, okay? So that even when they wake you up in the middle of the night, you are not stammering and like, this is what I want to do when I graduate. I'm not sure yet. You have this perfect story for yourself. And your job is to sell that story to the person that is interviewing you so much so that they hear it, they want to give you a chance to succeed in life. Okay, so that's the idea. I'm trying to rush it because I see I'm talking for 18 minutes now. Now, this last part, you would see that the first person that presented, I have never met her. I've never heard of her name before. But she said something. She said, get your story straight, and also don't shake while you are sharing your story. She said that. I remember that very, very well. Okay. Confidence, child, confidence. That's the one type. That's my way of telling you not to shake. Okay. The first thing is, if you don't have confidence, your story will not be believable. Okay. You have to walk in there with the mindset that what's the worst that can happen. They will say, oh, we did not give you visa. Nobody's going to deport you from Nigeria. Nigeria is your father's country. It's no big deal. Move on. Or apply if you have a genuine reason to reapply again. Point is, walk in there as if you deserve the visa. Don't just go there and start shaking like, I'm not sure if I deserve this visa or not. Okay. And I also noted here that the hardest part is getting into a good program and maybe getting funding. Visa application is arguably the easiest part of all of these things, really, because it is out of your control. You can only present your case. You don't decide if you're going to get the visa or not. So why would you be overly stressed about it? You understand what I mean? So if you have the confidence, you're in a good program, you have some sort of funding, bro, just walk in there, present your story, get everything straight, and you will be good to go in most cases if your mother and father are also good prayer warrior. You know what I mean? So that's the last thing that I would like to talk about. And I told you that at the end of this slide, I'm going to show you some other countries that are not Americans. People, I know most of the time we've been exposed to like American movies, and it seems as if we don't get to America, this is the end of the world or something like that. Seriously, it is not the end of the world. There are other amazing countries in the world that you can go to and get the same quality of education. Seriously, US, one of them, Canada, one of them, UK. I have so many friends in the UK now. And the good thing about UK is that UK also recently introduced post-work study visa program like that, like you have in America too. So they have that in UK now. If you study in the UK, you get 2 years or so to stay back and work, Same thing for Canada too. Germany, education in Germany is also very free. I don't know about Switzerland, but it's a very beautiful place. Finland, also very beautiful. Australia, I have friends in Australia as well. So the point is, there are so many other options that you can explore rather than getting hung up on the idea of US, because we've been sold a very beautiful America. I understand that. I mean, the US, so I understand. I lived in Nigeria for the best part of my life, but now I'm in the US. I've been in the US for almost for over 2 years now. So I understand the stories that have been told. But as someone that has experience on both sides, I'm telling you, US is not the all and the all of the whole story. Okay, there are also other countries that you can explore and get the same level of education and the same level of exposure as you get in America. That's all. I'm sorry for speaking really fast. That's one of the problems that I have in life. But if you have any questions, you can just leave the question in the chat box. I'll stop sharing now. And yeah.
Yay.
Let me try read the chat and see if I missed anything.
Thank you, Adeleke. I think we're going to leave the questions for the question section.
I've been warned several times. You guys should have muted me. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm muting myself now.
So please, if you have questions for him, we're not going to take questions now. There's the question section at, I don't know, the agenda has it somewhere. So we're just going to go ahead with the next presenter. Just have your questions ready. Mary, Enoch, Uzor, I don't know if you guys are here. Please check the questions and take screenshots of the ones that we can take when it's time to ask questions. And then we'll have Noka come back and continue her presentation. I don't know if you're going to start all over because I don't know if the audio was like very...
It was really bad, right? Can you hear me now?
Yay! Yeah, echo is gone. Bye-bye.
So I got like the whole podcasting. So let's hope that works now.
Yay! So we'll make you start again. Sorry, Ejo. Sorry, ma. Oh yeah, thank you.
So yeah, let's get this part started. Let me share my screen.
Thank you everyone for joining. We're really excited to have you all here. So there will be no you without us. So we're really grateful for coming in. And I hope you guys are, getting information, you're excited, you're getting more equipped for the study abroad life. Mary, please take time and plan how we are going to do the networking part. Thank you. All right.
So can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Okay. Well, hi everyone and welcome to this part of the event. I'm really excited to be doing this event with all the amazing speakers. I'll be talking on choosing a university, and yeah, let's go right into it. Okay.
So first off, I'm going to be introducing myself, my grad school journey, and how I made my selection. Because, like Aladi said, I graduated this year, so I'm still kind of fresh. So I remember some things I hope to share with you all, and then we'll be going into discussing tips on how to actually choose your university, and then we will be concluding. I'll give you summary and some key points to take away. So, for the introduction, my name is Ojono Kataudi. I studied computer science. I got a master's in computer science from the University of Southern Mississippi. I just graduated in May, so I'm a fresh graduate. And my research focus was in machine learning. I worked on a deep learning based. I worked on a deep learning based algorithm with my professor for autonomous ships, and I currently work as a business intelligence analyst. I am currently really interested in the data space, so I really love data analytics and engineering, and I hope to delve into that sometime. And just by nights, when I'm not doing all the regular stuff, I am a YouTuber. I'm currently rebranding, so you guys should go follow me. My YouTube name is Noka Midit. I also work as a social media consultant, a marketing and PR babe, and sometimes I do digital content creation. So yes, to why we are here, we are going to be discussing on things you need to consider or do when you're choosing a university. So my first point would be to gather your admission and application requirements. And this is really, really, really important. Like I can't even state how important it is. You cannot even start without this step. So basically, you need to know like the general admission window for schools in the country you want to go to. As I'll be using US as our what do you call it? As where I feel you all intend to go to. But like Augustus said, there are so many places. So just use this and make it work for you. So you need to know the general admission windows. Like here, I would say fall and spring are like the two most common times that people come in, international students come in. So you need to just figure that out. You need to also find out your school deadline, and you need to have a personal deadline. Like what time are you working with? How much time do you have to prepare? So all of those are in the first step, which is the gathering information step. So for step two, you need to create a list of schools based on information gathered in step one. So I think it would be smart to have at least like 10 schools to start with, because not every school will make the cut. So it's good to have a lot of schools because you keep narrowing down your options as you progress in trying to choose a school. The third step would be to find out the cost of living and tuition. This is another important step. You wouldn't want to go to a place where you wouldn't be able to sustain yourself if you don't get funding or financial aid or anything like that. So it's going to be really smart to go to a school that even if you don't get financial aid, you can kind of survive. You wouldn't want to go to a school that's like $50,000, $100,000, and you cannot afford it if you can't. So just put things in perspective. You know where you're coming from, you know your journey, you know your budget. So that also helps. So when you create the list, you just have this cost of living and tuition in mind while creating that list. So for the fourth step, it says research the program, your course outline, the program delivery, and professors in your desired department. So this step is it depends also. So like when I came here, I think Aladi also when she came, she intended to do the whole thesis option. So when you come for your masters, you can do a thesis or like a capstone or a project. So with the thesis option, you get to actually write a thesis by the time you are done. That is how they will let you graduate. And with the project option, you just like you design a project, you work on a project. It's like a compact version. So imagine doing like a school project, but definitely more advanced, just so you can graduate. So these are different options based on what you want to do. You would want to search the school, your course, and if they deliver the program in those ways, like if there's the thesis option or what type of options, because some schools don't have those. So that's one really important thing you need to look out for. Also, if you're interested in a PhD, that means in your master's, you would want to do a lot of research. So you need to like check your professors, the professors in your department, to see what they are working on and what you would be interested in working in with them. So that's quite important. And the third one would be the program delivery. Most international students cannot go. Most international students cannot do online course. You need to have at least I think 9 or 12 credit units in class. So make sure that it's not an online program, because you can't come here and be online. So just get all of those information. And then the fifth step would be to ask questions. Talk to other international students that are currently in the school you want to go to. They may be in the school or they may have graduated, but talk to them and ask them everything, because I mean, like, they would be in a better place to answer you than the admissions or the admissions office. The admissions office will give you information based on the fact that they want you to come to their school. So you need to ask people that are on ground, ask them about anything you may have. Oh, what's the funding like? What's the research like? What kind of courses do we take? So just random things like that. Just ask and talk to people. The sixth step will be to consider location and geography. This is a dicey one. There's this thing my brother always says. He says that if you know the name of the place, like if you already know the name of the place from Nigeria, then you should maybe not be looking there. And I would explain it. So like most people coming from Nigeria, we want to go to New York, we want to go to Chicago, all these places, but these places are really expensive. So you need to know that what is it, how expensive is this location? Can I sustain myself there, and what are the opportunities after? So you need to consider all of these things, not just think of, oh, New York City looks like a fun place. Think about how you can live there for 2 or more years, what the job opportunity is like, because really going to school in New York doesn't mean you have to work in New York. You can school in Texas and you can get a job in New York. So it doesn't really matter. You don't have to go to a place just because of the aftermath. So just put that in perspective. And then the last one would be your financial aid and funding opportunity. I spoke about this a little earlier, but I'll still go over it. So financial aid, you need to ask the school, do your research on the department's website and even the school's website in general. Most times they let people know they have graduate assistantship available, and you can actually just ask the international students office, you can ask your program office, you can ask your department, just let them know this is something you're interested in and how possible is it to get one. So financial aid for graduate students, it usually comes in form of teaching assistants or graduate assistants. So with this kind of things, with teaching assistant, you teach, you help a professor teach, and you get your tuition, you don't pay, or you pay, maybe they cover up to like 50% for you. And some, if you're lucky, you don't pay at all and they still pay you. So these are things you like to find out. When choosing a school, you want to know if they have all of this. I'm sure this would be like, you will rate this high in your list. So these are things I think you should consider. And okay, these are just general admission application hacks I would like to share. Number one would be for you to create an application tracker. So I did this. I'm going to show this in the next slide. It's nothing. It sounds big, but it's really a basic thing, just a spreadsheet. Because at the end of the day, when you are done with your list of schools, it helps you make like easier comparison between these schools, and then that helps you make a decision. The second thing would be information overload may delay your progress. So you need to make a plan and stick to it. So if you plan to study business analytics, you have like 10 schools, 5 schools, whatever schools, you know that you need these particular things. Don't go looking out for things that are really not your business, because sometimes you have so much information that you don't know what to do with it. Structure your search into searching for things that are business analytics based. Schools, funding, everything should be based on that. Don't go searching for things that are not your business, just so you are like looking at the price, you have your end game. And then the third thing I would tell you would be to use referees who know you really well, and start your transcript request and other documents very well in advance. So with graduate school applications or even applications in general, you need to use referees, and you need people that have like taught you. You can use like professors in your department, you can use lecturers, your graduate advisor, things like that. People that know you personally and can speak for your skills. So people that know you personally and can speak for your skills, and would write really good recommendation. You don't need the recommendation that says, "Oh, she's a good."
Please. Who is that? Moderators, please mute people, mute them. Sorry, sorry, Nok, I'm so sorry. Who is that, please?
So yeah, like I was saying, you need people that know can speak.
Not just someone very
Mary and Enoch, please mute people.
Just hold on. They are trying to spell. This is one of the spammers. But just keep on misbehaving.
I think this is why we should have put a password, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying to even search for the person now. I can't find the person.
Remove the person if you find them, please. No, I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to find the person and it's just everywhere.
Yeah, that's what they do.
These Asian spammers, this kind of stuff they do when you're joining Zoom.
I think I should have put a password, but then when we put a password, since we were sharing the flyer on social media, then it's so hard, it's so bad. I'm just removing everybody that is unmuted, Sha. No, I'm just removing everybody that is not muted at this point. Our Zoom have been hijacked.
Let me see you,
Sorry, just some minutes. They would try getting in again. That's the thing. I think you need to change the settings from your end.
Okay, let me go and change it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
let's
let's
try getting in again.
Okay. Let me see security.
So I'm going to lock the meeting.
Okay.
No one else can join.
Oh yeah, lock. Thank you, please. Thank you. Thank you, our moderator.
Wow, that was a bit scary.
Yeah.
But like why I didn't even put and why I didn't put password was because of since it's open to the public, like if I put password now, I don't know, they'll still get it. Let me see, Mary. Let me see if I can lock them.
I locked it.
Let me
and I'm trying to enable waiting room so that the person has to ask me before someone can.
You have permission to do that?
Yes.
Okay, then go ahead.
I've locked the meeting and I've enabled waiting room. So for someone to come in, they have to. I sort of have to let them in the meeting.
Okay, then I guess the person is still amongst us, so I'll just remove. So please, if you don't want to be removed, mute yourself, because anybody I see unmuted, I'm going to remove you. I will remove you.
Also, can people rename their name on the call, please, so that you can remove anybody that.
Yeah, if you have iPhone guests, anything like that, I'm taking you out. I'm sorry. You have to go and watch your YouTube. If I remove you and you're a real person that needs the information, join us on YouTube, please. Because we're in the removing spree now. If not because I wanted to see people's faces, I'll just make it like a webinar where nobody can show their, can speak or show their face. But that would be mean. So please, if you don't want to be removed, please name yourself well. Who is this one asking?
Everyone has been muted now.
Okay.
I will only unmute Ojana.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, our moderators. Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm
Shall we
so
go
sorry.
to-
Yeah, let's try.
Okay. So I was talking on recommendation. So I said it would be smart for you to use referees that know you really well and can speak to your abilities. You want someone that can write a really strong recommendation, because these schools take it personally. So you get people like your graduate, your advisor in school, your if you have a good relationship with your head of department or just professors in your school, and people that would write strong recommendations, emphasis on the strong, because sometimes you get people that write you things like this person is a good person and I have known the person for these years. You need someone that can say, oh, you worked on this project and it was great, or you have this particular skills that is a good skill. So just things like that. So another thing I wanted to talk about, I'm going to take this slide back, would be eligibility. So eligibility criteria kind of varies from program to program. So when you're searching for a program in university you're trying to choose, make sure that you are eligible. So things like some courses you need to have taken before getting into this program. Some schools, some computer science programs, you need to do things like data structures and all of those things. If you haven't done them, when you come to the school, you have to do that again. So just make sure that what you did in your undergrad or your BSc is acceptable in this school. So that's something I wanted to touch on. So this is what I was saying, the admission tracker. This is what mine looked like. So I was applying to a few schools for PhD, and this is what it looks like. You can use I did this with the Excel on cloud. So you can just use your Excel on Google or you can do it on your system. So as you can see, there's a field for school and then the course I'm intending to go for, and you see deadline, which is really important. This is a link straight into the program. So whenever I come here and click, it takes me straight to the department's homepage, and then you can put the application fee if that is something you are considering. If you have a budget, you know which to leave, and then you ask funding available, whatever you find out, you put it here, and then document requirements like transcript. Some schools will require you to do WES. I think WES is a kind of verification. I did that for some schools. So you put that there, and then tuition, just so you're clear. And then in conclusion, I would like to say that graduate school is a stepping stone. So a lot of people think that graduate school is the beginning, it's like the do all and end all, but that's not it. Just make a choice based on your long-term goals. You know what you want to do with your life. So make a choice based on what you want to do after graduation, what life after graduation looks like for you. So make sure that you always remember graduate school is a stepping stone towards you on that helping you towards your goal and not the end of your goal. That's not your final destination. So don't think that because you are in this school or this particular program, that's the end for you. It's just leading you to where you want to be. Another thing I would advise you to do would be to start early. You need to start early, make your tracker early, just so that if there's any issues, you have enough time. If you need to retake some exams, if you need to resend some transcripts. I was really late on some of my transcripts, and that's why I'm advising you. And you know how it is like in Nigeria, when you send something, it takes time. So once you know that a particular school is on your list and you know that you are going there, just start this process early. And the last thing I will tell you would be to don't be discouraged by trying to live another person's dream, another person's story. So now, like you can see that my story is different from Aladi's story. Aladi's story is different from Augusta's story. So everyone's story is different. Just make sure that you reach out to others when you need to. You ask for support when you need it. And at the end of the day, the journey is yours. So just make sure you have a plan, you stick to the plan, you have all the information you need, and it's leading you to that plan. So that is basically it. I would love to get the questions from you, and I would love to see you in the breakout room. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you so much, Noka. Sorry for what happened. Sorry that it happened during your presentation. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Your presentation was amazing, and I personally learned a lot. So, if everybody can hear me, we'll be moving on to stories/contribution. So, the idea for this was sort of for people that were not speaking to sort of give some insights, like maybe they had something to say, maybe they had some additions to the points that have been raised. So yeah, I think that's the next section we'll be going into. And I know that I plan to say a few words in this place. I think, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so quiet. Yes. The key points that I've taken from everything that has been said today is in regards to the visa application. So something that is very important is confidence. And please, I know that there are some times when you have to sort of twist the truth a little bit, but the less lies you have, the easier it is for you to stick to your story. So when they wake you up and you know that this is what I said and this is what it is. So you need to be very confident. And yeah, I think one important point that I wanted to say was culturally, or at least as far as I know, we are not raised to look at our elders in the eye or someone in position of authority. But while I was applying for my visa, I realized that for a lot of people that maybe not Africans, because I'm a Yoruba girl, so maybe not Yoruba self, when you don't look them in the eye when you're saying certain things, it can be translated to mean you're nervous or you're lying. So when you go to your visa interview, please look at the person interviewing you in the eye and stand firm on what you believe to be true. And please let your truth not be a ridiculous lie, because these people are trained psychologists, I think. So they see your body language, they interpret your body language. So cover all the bases that are meant to be covered. For example, in my interview, I was asked to mention the name of a professor in my department that I was looking forward to being taught by. And so there's such a thing as being there might be a thing such as being over-prepared, but it's not a bad thing. The only bad thing is if you're under-prepared and they ask you something as little as what's the postal address of your school, and you start to stutter. So we are open to taking contributions and stories. If there is anybody willing to talk, please raise your hand and let us know. Thank you.
I think I was muted the first time I was trying to I don't know if you guys can hear me anyway. I don't know. Okay, hopefully they know hijack my voice too. No, I was trying to thank you for the wonderful presentation. So I'm so happy. Thank you for keeping it together, even with the whole nonsense that was happening at that point. I really do appreciate, and I really do appreciate. And some of you that have removed from the chat, I'm so sorry, because for the past how many minutes I've just been removing everyone that do not have a name or have one weird name. So just continue on YouTube. I'm sorry. So yeah, like Mary said, please let's continue with the event.
So we have 4 people here that have raised up their hands, and I'll be letting them in one by one. Chidebere, I think she raised up her hand first.
Yeah. Can everyone hear me now?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Can I go on with my question? I don't have a contribution, so I just have a question.
I think we'll have the question time. This time is just for contribution and story. After that, we'll have the question section, right, Mary? Or how is it lined up? Yeah. So just be patient. We'll call on you.
Okay.
Yeah. This contribution, if you have any story, maybe you're a student in the US or you have anything to say, regarding all the 3 topics we've talked about, or just generally stuff about study abroad, you're welcome to raise your hand at this point.
Okay. I'm going to allow Ali Mohammed to talk now. So if you can please unmute yourself.
Can you guys hear?
Yes.
Mohammed, currently I'm studying international relations in Geneva, Switzerland.
Hi.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to just chip in. Well, I learned that here in Switzerland, I think relatively the education is close to none. The fee, I think, is affordable. You can come here for your master's, because the private university, they charge per semester 500 Swiss francs. So I wasn't lucky to I was eager. I just looked for a private school to apply. luckily I got the admission because I've been trying to I got admission into the United States. Like there is this private university called Australia University. So I went for my visa interview twice and I got denied. So I just have to change other direction. So what I'm trying to say in general is if you can get a public school in Switzerland, I think it does that. The living expenses is somewhat high. Like the rent in my room, I've been 690 Swiss francs per month. So which is converted to this huge amount, but the tuition fee is affordable. Actually, you can get a master's degree here from 3,000 francs to 10, whatever. Compared to this is United States. So that's what I'm just trying to say.
Thank you. Adeleke talked about, considering Switzerland. It's so nice that we even have someone that is in Switzerland in the meeting with us. So I guess you might want to connect with him if you're interested in Switzerland. Mary, you can take up.
So I'm going to ask Oluwatimileyin to meet themselves now. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Oluwatimileyin. First, I want to thank you for maybe because it has helped me and it helped me on my journey to being in the United States. I came in so I'm currently an MBA student in the University of Alabama at Birmingham. So I came about this videos helped me in my design interview. It really helped me a lot in my design interview because I'm not a very I'm a very shy person. So I like these videos helped me. She shared nice insights and the rest. And also I want to presentation.
We can't hear you.
I'm working. I don't know if you can hear me.
Your audio is going off and on. It's you have bad network.
Just a minute. I'm coming. Just a minute.
Your voice is breaking out. I think you have network problem.
Network issues.
So I think Mary, you can take the next person. His audio is really bad.
Okay. So because we are trying to be really time conscious and maximize the time we have here today, and time is going really fast, we're going to be moving to the question and answer segment. And also for the sake of time, I'm going to be quite strict in my timing. Please ensure to only ask what it's, not to say what's relevant, but please make your question as brief as possible. Within 30 seconds, please just pass your question across as fast as you can so that the questions can be answered as fast as possible. So yeah, thank you. Chidebere, please, you have the floor.
Yeah, can everyone hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Is this Chidebere?
Yes, Chidebere.
Okay.
Please, is Augustus around? Is he on air? Mr. Augustus. Yeah, because I'm trying to add something. He made a presentation on.
Okay, just go ahead. If he's on the call, he's going to take the question, or someone else will.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm a graduate of computer science. I read computer science here at Babcock University, and I'm pursuing cybersecurity in California State University. I've been to the U.S. Embassy on 2 occasions, and I was turned down. And I have my present interview appointment on the 30th of November. The story is this. I went with mathematics on the first and second attempt, and now I was offered cybersecurity in California State University in this third attempt. So I don't know how should I put up my story in this third attempt, and I'm not using the same sponsor I used for the first 2 attempts. I'm using a very different sponsor, but his money is huge. His bank statement is huge. And I'm not going with mathematics because that's what I went with the first and second attempt and it didn't work. And now I'm switching to what is very, very related to my BSc, that's cybersecurity, because I have my bachelor's in computer science. So, Aladi, can you help me? Like, I'm going. It's just. I've been passionate in going to the United States, and it has really, really, frustrated me. This is my third attempt, and I'm going to Lagos on the 30th of November. So, Aladi, please just help me. Like, what stories should I put up, and having different, responsible information. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know. Like, is there anybody that would like to answer this question?
Okay, I can try.
Okay, Mary.
So a good place to start from was, on what grounds were you denied? You don't have to answer me now, but I'm just telling you, I think, what to sort of think about. On what grounds were you denied? Think about it and relate it to what has changed in your situation now. And why do you think the US is the best place for you to actually go further your education? Because something I think is key is that I don't want people going to the embassy from a place of, oh my God, please help me, US is my only option. No, you're a bright young man. You can access to any country you're going to. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship. You're taking your skills, you're taking your talent to the US. And if they say, oh, well, we don't want you, okay, you're not desperate. You're not desperate. You're not running away from your country. So why did they deny you before, and what has changed in those circumstances? Why did you decide to pick up another course, and how is it relevant to where you're going to? And truly, the key is to be prepared. Cover all bases. Check on Google the kind of questions that they ask. Call a friend. Practice with a friend. Make sure that you're confident in your answers. And I think really that's what I think. And then also try some other countries. An asset, it's not by force.
Yeah. I definitely agree with what Mary said. And for me, like the way I was denied the first two times, I don't really know the details of yours, but the first two times I applied, it was still the same university I went with the third time. But like I stated, I've shared the story a lot of times on my channel. The third time, what really stood out was my confidence. I can boldly say that the first two times I went, if I compare it with the third time I went, I was not as confident as that. And like I also mentioned that I had a friend I practiced with. This was somebody, at the time, he was not my friend. So he was like a very, very neutral person. So he could like listen to me, like interview me and see what I was saying and tell me honest, like no hard feelings. Just tell me, look at what you're saying. You might be saying the truth, but what you're saying, like, to me, a third party, it doesn't make any sense. That was what he told me the first couple times we practiced. So I would say get a neutral person that is not your friend. Don't look for your friend. Look for a stranger that is well enlightened to help you, like, to look at what you're saying. Just like Mary said, you're an asset. So don't feel like they're doing you a favor. You're also doing them a favor because you're coming to this country to contribute to the body of knowledge. So I think that's all I can say. Just work on your confidence. You probably might have been very confident in your first two attempts, but build your story and share it with someone and see what they have to say. Thank you. Mary, please continue.
So Osiloki, please ask your question. Osiloki.
Hello guys. Thank you, Aladi, for setting up this meeting, and thank you to the speakers as well for your insights. So I wanted to ask, my question is based on undergraduate studies. So I have noticed like so many YouTubers, and you as well, and the speakers, they've all run graduate programs. So I wanted to know, is it that it's very difficult for undergraduate studies students to get visa approved, or is it like not the best decision to make? That's one. Then two, you guys have said, okay, the OPT, there is 3 years OPT for STEM students and then 1 year OPT for non-STEM students. So I wanted to know, is it still a good idea to come to the United States to study a non-STEM program for
grad, knowing you're going to get like a 1 year OPT, permit, instead of going to like other, countries, like other options are going to give you more flexibility with, after grad and stuff like that. So those are my questions.
Anyone want to answer, or but I can just answer like the one you talked about. Do you go for the non-STEM class, considering that you're just going to get 1 year? But the goal is, what's your motive? Are you really interested in furthering your education, or do you really want to study a particular thing, or you're interested in just traveling abroad? It's left for you to decide. It depends on what you're actually looking for. Do you want to study? Okay, you want to study law, but because you know that you will not be given like the 2 years, then you decide not to study law. That means probably your end goal is maybe immigration. I don't know. So ask yourself that honest question. Please, anybody that wants to answer is welcome to answer.
Is Ojonuka still on this call? Maybe she has something to say.
I don't know. Let me see.
Okay, maybe I can just chip in. I'm currently doing my master's in the US. I'm not a STEM student. My master's is in international affairs. It's not about how long, it's about how well. That's what I think. So let's say you're coming for undergrad. You have 4 years. Within those 4 years, what are you doing? 1 year comes and you get 1 year for OPT. What do you do in that 1 year? You don't need a super long time. If that's really your goal, a lot of us, we want to Japan, we want to leave. If your goal is to come and, okay, what then happens after the 3 years and you've not maximized those 3 years you've been given? I typically would, of course, we know the 3 usual suspects: UK, Canada, and USA. USA has a clear path to, it has an identifiable path to immigration, to citizenship. UK, not so much. Canada, yes. But this 1 year, how do you plan to use it? If you plan to maximize it, of course, it's a good thing. Take it. But yeah, my question is, how do you plan to use it? What connections do you plan to make within your F1 years in America? So yeah, I hope your question has been answered.
Can you guys hear me? I'd like to add on that.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question you asked about people coming here for undergrad, right? And I would say maybe it's not so popular, but it works. People do it. I have a lot of friends that have come here for their undergrad, and a couple of them actually got jobs right after. So it's just, most people don't look at it so much, because with undergrad there's a limit to like the scholarship and all those things that you can get. So if you have enough funding, like if you have the money to come, that would work. It's not a bad idea at all. You just need to make sure. Now, answering your second question, you need to make sure that while you are in that program that is not STEM based, you do a lot of internships, just so that when you are done, it's easier for you to get a job. Because when you do internships, sometimes some of these companies retain you, or you have it on your resume, and then other companies would be like, okay, he has interned at this place, so I would like to get him. So your two takeaways from this should be that it's normal to come here for undergrad. It's just that there's not as much funding as you would get for your graduate school. Just make sure you have the money. Most times they have to pay, and it's more expensive. And also with the whole 1 year OPT, I think you can make it work. Just make sure you do the internship, you network well, and you just start applying ahead of time. Make a plan even before you start. Like Mary said, you use your time, your 3 to 4 years wisely. Use it to apply and do all those things, and you would be good. You can actually get the company that can sponsor you even before your 1 year is over.
Thank you very much. So, Toyos, please can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Okay, can you hear me? Good evening, everyone. Thanks for this session. Mine is more of a career switch decision. I mean, I have a BSc and MSc in Human Resources with over 5 years experience in HR. So recently, I've actually developed interest in HR analytics, which spurred my interest in data analytics, and I actually would like to know which is more preferred. MSc in HR or data analytics or business analytics? I mean, will it be easy to switch without a background knowledge in computer science or data analytics? And also for me, I'm also considering perhaps labor market after graduation, like after MSc at US. So what is it like in terms of labor markets? Which is more preferable? Is it HR, is it data analytics, or and also scholarships? I believe since most majority of persons who have spoken here today have already completed the MSc, they should be able to shed more light on having a career path. Thank you very much.
Mary,
Okay.
give the floor to everyone.
All right. So if anybody has some inputs to that question, that would be awesome.
I think David is raising his hands up. David, you have an answer?
Okay.
You can go ahead and unmute.
All right. Hello.
Hi. He's muted. Oh, they don't have the right to unmute themselves anymore.
I'm trying to see how do I unmute you.
I can't figure it out. Let me see. Let me find him.
I can talk now. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for putting this together. It's a big one, but it's the success I must say. So I will just use my own story because of time. I'm studying MBA at Purdue University, and I'm majoring in business analytics. So your major is also very important because and I've also had the opportunity to prepare for summer internship next year. In fact, I've gotten a couple of opportunities to be interviewed towards next year. Okay, so I have the opportunity to work with, if I want to diversify into HR, if I want to go into core data analytics, I have the opportunity. If I want to go into marketing, I also have the opportunity because I'm doing MBA, but my major is an information system and data analytics. So there are also courses that you can apply for that. You can look at their major. Okay, what will you be majoring on? So I believe that can guide you with the question you asked. So you can go for MBA. It's possible.
All right. Thank you very much. Moving on, can Clement please unmute himself and ask his question? Clement?
Okay, good evening, Nigerian. Yeah, my name is Clement. I schooled in the University of Ibadan, biology. Yeah, and I intend to have my master's in the US as molecular biology. But the schools I've been checking up, their requirements are mostly 3.0 GPA out of a 4.0 GPA scale. Yeah, and I had 2-1. Yeah, I don't know if I know about the West evaluation, but if I convert it, is it up to 3.0? I don't know if you can help me with that.
David is nodding his head, so let's assume he has an answer, please.
Okay, let me try this one also. Now, this has actually been a challenge with prospective students here trying to convert their GPA from 5.0 for that university may mention of, I think they even use 7.0. Some universities in Nigeria use 7.0, while some use 5.0. Yes. So West evaluation can actually help, but if you have 2-1, I can assume that you have above 3.0 against 4. Okay, but West evaluation will actually help you if you can go ahead to do that. But I can assure you that with your 2-1, based on your university grading system, you should be above 3.0. That's just but the system that can actually guarantee to be sure that you have above 3.0 is actually the West evaluation.
Thank you very much.
Also, can I add? Okay.
Yes.
So I would like to say that there are also like calculators online that can let you do these things, but also West is the best. So just for your own knowledge. But definitely the schools would not accept that, so you need to use words. But do not be discouraged by your CGPA, even if it doesn't match. Just make sure that your letter of interest that you're writing to the school, your application, you explain why you are like passionate about the course, and most times don't let that stop you from applying. I just wanted to point that out. There are a lot of people that have less than 2-1, they have 2-2 and applied and got. So just try your chances. Make sure your letter is explains why you like the course, why you're passionate about it, and how you can improve. Maybe things that made you not get 2-1 or first class. Just put that out there in a great way, and you can apply.
Thank you very much. Thank you. IG, please, over to you for your question. IG. Okay, yeah.
Can I?
Yeah. Thank you very much for the information gotten so far. Okay, yeah, can you hear me? Hello, yes. Anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so my question is this. I'm from a background in chemistry from undergraduate, and over time I picked up interest in computer software, and I've been working for 2 years now in a software company. I want to further my education, like do my master's in computer science. But I've checked a lot of schools in the US, and most schools requires that I have some certain prerequisites that I've done in my undergraduate, which I didn't cover all of them. I wanted to know if it's still safe in applying to those schools, because some schools said we're going to offer some conditional admission. That's one question. Like, I want to know if it's safe to apply to those courses, because I just want to do computer science or an IT-related course. Then second question is it possible for me to get funding for here in Nigeria if I get admission into maybe those courses? That's like my question. Yeah, thank you. All right, thank you very much. Does anybody want to take the question?
Can I take it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, yes. Okay, so about your question, the prerequisite courses, I don't think it matters when you go for your visa interview. Once you can tell them that you've been working, which you actually have been working in tech, it means you know what you are doing, and you just give them reasons why you had the career change. But the other question about funding would be hard. I don't know. That's a thing that you need to ask your department. But I know that once you're coming in as a conditional student, you are not eligible for funding, at least in the school I know. So you need to find that out. I can't talk about like generally, but you need to find that out. Most times, once you are conditional, you cannot be on funding. So you need to finish up all those prerequisite courses before you can move ahead to be eligible for funding. So you may want to maybe save a year's worth of tuition in case that is done with the prerequisite courses. That's what I know.
All right, thank you very much. Aliko Tostin, please ask your question. We have room for 2 more questions, and I guess that'll be all for this session.
Mary, can you excuse me, please? I see that people on the YouTube are kind of mad that I locked them out of the meeting, but like some OC in the comments already let you guys know that the meeting was about to be hijacked. That's why we had to lock people out. So please, we see you. We see you that are watching on YouTube. If you have questions, if you want to join the meeting again, I don't think we're skeptical to let anyone in at this point, so I'm really, really sorry for that. Just leave your question in the YouTube chat there, and we'll try to like read them aloud here for the whoever you're addressing the question to see. So please leave your comments there, okay? Thank you. Mary, you can go ahead, please.
All right. Alukotosin, please over to you for your question.
Tosin. Tosin. Okay.
Hold on, I'm trying to unmute her. I don't know if she's there. I don't think she's sitting with her phone or something. Okay, yeah.
Thank you for muting. I've been trying to mute myself since. Hello, good evening. Hope you can all hear me.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. So thank you so much for this opportunity. My question is on graduate assistantship. I want to know if you got getting graduate assistantship in the first year, does it apply for the second year? If getting it with the admission letter, does it apply for the second year in the university? Ojonoka, are you going to be taking this question, or Aladi?
Yeah, I'm open to taking it if anyone else is not.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. So that depends on the what do you call it? It depends on the agreement you have with your employer. So there are different types of I'm trying to look for the word, but there are different types of contract. Contract is the word. So when you come, you can get a 6-month contract, a 9-month contract, 1 year. So it just depends really. And sometimes when you get the 6 months, it can be renewed if they have funding. Because also, as they are giving you funding, they are also getting funding from somewhere else. So it depends if they have funding to fund you for the next year or the next academic session. So having funding 1 year doesn't mean you will have funding the next year, but it also means that you are now on campus, so you can before your contract ends, you can go and ask and apply to other places. So it keeps you in a really good situation, even if it's just the first year. You hardly ever get, to be honest, for more than 6 months, 9 months, or 1 year. You wouldn't get for like your entire program, except it's a PhD that is research based.
All right. Aladi, do you have any additions?
Right now I really don't have, but like what Noka say, from my experience, the highest I ever got was 9 months at a stretch. And after that, depending on your performance and the survey, like in my case, students took survey, like anonymous survey, saying how I did and all that stuff. So depending on so many other factors, and the contract can be renewed. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you very much. I don't have any additions because I don't know anything about graduate assistantships. So, moving on to Funiso, please unmute yourself. And I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Please go ahead and ask your question. Miss Udo?
I think she's seated at her. Oh, okay.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
All right, I'm glad you can hear me. Thank you very much for this session. It was really, really enlightening. Please, my question is to Mr. David Akoh, the person that was talking about MBA study. I don't know if he's still around. I want to direct questions to him. I want to ask him if the MBA he talked about, was it fully funded or was it partially funded? Because most of the MBA I see, most of the schools, they are partially funded or they are not even funded at all. Or they are funded by some organizations inside the school, but it's not the school that is actually funding it. Like Fort Women is either partnering with the school to fund the MBA and it's partial. So I want to ask him, was it the full MBA that he got and how did he get it? Because I've searched for his name on LinkedIn, I can't seem to see him. If you could also drop his social media handle for me to connect with him and ask him some other pertinent questions, I would like to ask him personally. Thank you.
Mr. Alabi, is he still on the call?
He's here. I'm guessing he's waiting for you to unmute him if you can.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Vanessa, for the question. I think this also benefits others, and I to the first speaker, and that was Miriam, but she's not on this call. Just like she did, she got in without funding, but she got an assistant. Currently, I'm teaching assistant, grad teaching assistant at the university. And what I did was that because I knew that I would need support to get my program done. So I didn't get the admission with funding, but I got in early because you are allowed to come in only 30 days before resumption. You can't come in earlier than that. So immediately, the 30 days after counting, I got into US. So one of the things I started looking for was teaching assistantship, and I got it 2 weeks before we resumed for school. So it's possible. So once you're on ground, there are so many things that you can put in place to get that. But most graduate students that have to do with business, whatever, because they believe that you must have been working and you have working experience and all that. You might not get funding for it. But once you come in, so in fact, the kind of assistantship that I got, I'm assisting 2 professors, okay, to manage 4 classes. I still under College of Business. I mean, close to 90% of my tuition was handled. You'll be surprised. So there are systems like that in the school that, it's not for everybody. For the College of Business and the related faculties, you'll be getting opportunity maybe to work to assist if you seek. So it's something that you have to push forward, you have to look out for, and you have to believe that you get support. That was the risk I took and it paid off. I don't know if I'm able to answer your question or you want some more clarity on that.
Thank you very much, David. Not to be a pessimist or to sort of derail the conversation, I think it's important here to note, just like Ojonoka said, I think it would be good to, at least from my end, I'm trying to advise that if you're going to be coming to the US, at least have 1 year of your tuition ready, because in my experience, I've been here for going to 2 years now, and when I came, I struggled to find positions on campus because as an international student in the US, you're only allowed to work 20 hours a week on campus. Please don't come and do illegal jobs. Other people may do it and get away with it. You might not. But I struggled for more than a year to get an on-campus job. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get an on-campus job. So luckily, I had my tuition saved up and all of that. So apart from graduate assistantships, and yes, this is also where networking plays a role. You can be a graduate assistant, but in my own journey is a bit different in the sense that I didn't get any positions on campus for more than a year. And where God sort of smiled on me was a year after being in the US. I ended up getting an internship, and that's something you can look out for. And while I was away doing my internship, and I sort of put school on hold, I was able to meet some interesting people and network with them. And from there, I was able to get called for an interview on campus and apply for a job. So I think another addition, sort of moving to another side, academics are very important when it comes to US, but also look for valid relationships. Look for people that will push you towards accomplishing your goals. Because since I wasn't able to get probably an assistant teaching position or something, I was able to get an on-campus job that is very valid for the things I want to do career-wise. So I think that's something to look into as well. Yes, David. Oh, sorry.
All right, thank you. Okay, what Mary just said is very, very important, because when I was also coming, I came in with 1 year tuition fees, ready at hand. Also, even my accommodation, everything. But if you can get something, why not go for it? So it's very, very important that number one, since you are coming in for a program and you have told them at the embassy that you have the funding for it, okay, for those that have not gotten funding or assistantship before coming in for the program, stick to that. It's very, very important. But if you're not getting and you're now looking for the opportunity, fine. Or else I would have been in trouble. So it was now the money, the short revision I got, I was able to get my car and get more comfortable to follow up, to be able to carry out my assignment and all that. But very important, I was able to hold up. I mean, when I was coming in, I had my tuition fee complete for 1 year. I had for accommodation and every other thing, just as it was said in my F1, in my high journey rather. So that's very important. That cannot be overstressed, or else one will be in trouble when it comes to academics. And you need your full self to excel when it comes to academics over here. It's very, very important. So I don't want them to stress that and butcher what Mary just said.
Okay.
Then with LinkedIn, well, what I did was I was working with Pfizer before I came in, so I were not that so LinkedIn activated like that because of so many things that we are in. I actually had background as a pharmacist, okay, but I was in sales and marketing when I was in Nigeria and all that. So I will, before this week ends, I will go and work on my LinkedIn. It's because I've not yet started looking for a job outside. I don't want to face my academics first, but my LinkedIn name is Olukunle Akobi. That's my second name, Olukunle Akobi. So you can contact me there. I also came for this program not as a moderator, but just like you to gain more knowledge. I've gotten some networks I also need to follow up here and to make the best of my stay here and get my objective achieved. Thank you for this opportunity. And thank you, Aladi. You've taught me a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining in and also helping. So like our moderator Mary said, we don't have room for questions anymore. We're kind of like going beyond the time we planned for this. So we're going to have the breakout room now. It's unfortunate that we lost almost like half of the people here because we were trying to be proactive. So we're going to be creating like, Mary, I'll let you handle this. Please go ahead. It's your duty.
All right. So something that is going to be very important, and I did not understand the value of this till a couple of months ago, is networking. Yes, it does sound like a cliche, but it's super important. It's extremely important. A lot of jobs are advertised. They're advertised for the sake of advertisement. They already know the people that are getting in for those jobs. And of course, I would use myself as an example. The job I currently work at right now, I initially came in as a volunteer for them while I was outside the country. So I came in as a volunteer for them. And when a position opened up, I applied for the job like every other person. But then I was feeling shy. I'm like, oh, I don't want to bypass protocol. Let me not tell these people that I work with that I've applied for the job. But I ended up saying, oh, well, the least they can do is to tell me no. And so I told them that I had applied for the job. And my application had gotten lost in a sea of about 300 participants or applicants. And then they checked out, and then I got the interview, and I did the interview, and I got the job. So what this means is that you have to meet people, not just anyhow people, although nobody's anyhow, but you have to make connections. When you meet people, I'm not saying that you should go and be crying and be saying, oh, this will happen to me. No. Tell them your story. Tell them what you do. And so that you don't be seen as a leech or a pest, make it a two-way street. Always be willing to ask, oh, what can I do for you? Not what can I do for you with the sense of so that you will do something back for me. Prove yourself to be an asset. Show yourself to be an asset, because if you're an asset to somebody, they would always be willing to listen to you and say, oh, what can I do for you? So in the spirit of that, we're going to try to create breakout groups. I've never done this before, so please show me some grace. So the idea of breakout groups is that I think I'm going to let it be that you can pick which group you want to go into and who you want to ask questions. Please make connections. Ask, what city are you in? What city do you want to go to? Where are you in your application process? Let's work together. Let's share information. It's not only people that are in the US that you should look at. You don't know. Aladi might be the next Bezos now. You need to have access to her. Now. You people have access to people on these calls. Please let it not be said that after the meeting, you now come and be bombarding somebody's DM. Please ask valid questions now. Make valid connections. Ask for LinkedIn profiles. and all of that. So I'm going to I will try to make 4 breakout groups, and I would be in one, Aladi would be in one, Ojonoka will be in one, David will be in one. So please go into the room you feel comfortable going into and ask important questions. So yeah, that's it.
Mary, how do we handle the people in the YouTube live? People, some people are really upset.
Maybe they can ask questions.
Like, how do they do like the networking part of the event?
Maybe they should type.
Sorry, hi, Aladi.
Enoch?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
The
you.
thing now is this: the people that are spamming the Zoom, like they are from YouTube. So
Wow.
don't expect them to. The people that are ranting, a naturally logical person won't go on your chat and be ranting unnecessarily. This APG and the Enoch OC corner.
Yeah, I suspect that Enoch that he's the spammer.
They changed their name and they're trying to rejoin the meeting. They've been trying to rejoin. I've been blocking them since. So just excuse them. Whoever wants to rant should rant, and whoever wants to focus on the event should focus. They can ask their questions there, and it will be attended to. So just leave them alone.
Yeah. Okay. So that's okay. And if while we're in the breakout room, who is going to like be here? You know, people in the live Zoom, YouTube. What are they going to be doing? Like, since we're going to be in the breakout room, Mary and Enoch, whatever.
Okay, so maybe instead of me having a breakout room, it could be David, Ojonoka, and Aladi, I think. And
I feel like everybody knows my story again. Why is that? And everybody already like have like access, like my email is already there. I don't know, because I feel like I'm not new. Let the new people, let them mix with the new people. I don't know.
I think that's a great idea. So it can be David, Mary, Ojonoka, and then people come.
OC Lucky too, please. OC Lucky, I don't know if you are willing. OC Lucky is in Canada. He's our Canada guru. So I don't know if he's willing to anchor a breakout room for people that want to do Canada Connect and all. OC, are you up for it? I don't know. I'm just suggesting, please.
Hey guys, I'm actually on the YouTube live, but yeah, I can also maybe say one of the things, but I'm just this guy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Aladi, I think maybe what would be ideal is that you make rounds, so you can just pop into rooms randomly and say something and leave.
Okay, sure, I'm down for that.
Okay. So the breakout rooms right now, there's one with David, there's one with me, there's one with Ojonoka, and there's one with OC Lucky. So it's time to network, guys. So I don't know how it works that you go and you pick out your groups, but
is it even possible you have to assign people? I don't know, because the time I used it, you have to like manually assign. Anybody that is a Zoom guru here, please let us know.
Oh wow.
Or
what you've done is that you've given everybody access to join whichever they want. So but you can choose to manually assign them though. But the way it is now, whoever wants to join anyone can join.
Maybe I close all the rooms, and then I just do it automatically. Like people join in automatically. If you don't like it, maybe you leave or something. What do you guys think?
Yeah, people are already joining over here. I can see that the people have joined the group. Like individually, everybody should go and check, scroll down, then click on the join on each of the moderator's name. You see the join room 3. You see join. So you are free to join anyone you want.
Okay, people are joining.
Yeah. Oh, I'm seeing the rooms now. Yay! I can see now. So yeah, feel comfortable, join and chat with people. But the way we have the rooms, we didn't even write. Is there a way to rename the name of the room so that people know exactly what's going in there? Well, I don't know what people are doing. Well, Shay is about the guest, the person that is speaking. I don't know. Well, it's okay.
Hi guys, you guys should go and join the room, or do you want us to assign you to?
Please join your room. Like, if you don't know how to do it, like, okay, see, I don't know, you guys can see the screen. So just hit breakout rooms. When you hit it, this will pop out, and then you just have to scroll down, and then you can see this is room 2. David is in there. Room 3, I think, who is in there? Mary is in there. Then you see room 4, room 5. OC Lucky is in there. So you can just choose which room to join, hit the join button, and that's it. And for next week, while we're all trying to, join the people on the YouTube, I don't know, next week we'll try to find a way to make this more secured. So I'm sorry for today. Next week is mostly targeted towards people who are already in the US. But even if you're not in the US, you're welcome to attend. We're going to be discussing about jobs, networking and all that stuff mostly. So maybe I should put music for the people that are in the YouTube. No, I'm sorry. I can't help it. So are you going to keep them busy while I hop into the rooms?
No problem.
Okay. So.
Are you talking about the people on the YouTube or people on here?
People that are going to be people that don't want to join, people that are still left here, and people on YouTube. Maybe do something to keep them entertained.
No, the thing is, people on YouTube, I think they should have access to your room, the one you join.
Oh, they'll have access to the one I join. Okay,
yeah,
then.
Because you are the one sharing your screen with them, so they will only be able to see yours.
Okay, so let me join. Which room should I join? Let me see.
The thing is, the remaining people here, I can easily just assign them to
any room, right?
If they don't mind. Because see, this person now is on bike. Okay, so I don't think the person.
Please, so be safe. Please be safe. Stay safe, please. Okay, let me find one to join with my YouTube people. Let's see. I'm trying to decide which one is more appropriate for me to join. Let me just join one after the other.
Somebody want to say something?
Yeah, please, you can, please, Toby, you can mute yourself. Not the background noise at your end.
Okay, I'll do that just now. Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you, Tosi, for pointing that out. Our big post is here. Aladi.
Yeah.
Hi.
I have a question actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I applied at 5 universities. I applied at Kent State, UT Dallas, Texas A&M Commerce, and University of Central Oklahoma. So I got admission for UT Dallas.
Okay.
And I was asked to apply for scholarship, which I already did. But my main choice is University of Texas A&M. I'm actually waiting for their decision.
Right.
So my why I came in here is because I need someone to help me for visa interview mock. So I need somebody I can add a mock with.
Okay, all right. If I like, okay, that's a very good move. Aladi, do you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
You guys are doing fine.
Okay, now, let me share my story towards this interview. Now, despite the fact that I had a very good profile, I've been to United States 4 times. I never overstayed. Okay, despite that I knew that even during COVID last year, I was here based on work for 3 months. Okay, and I was to come for my master's. Now, I prepared as if I've never been to US before. I listened to all Aladi's videos. I listened to all of those videos. I listened to so many videos. I mean, I watched them. I prepared over 50 questions. Okay? Being able, and I react myself. Okay, I didn't have the opportunity. So what I did was I over-prepared. Okay? And my interview was very, very, very easy. So, but what I would do is that you can connect with me on LinkedIn. We can run it together, but you will do something for you. You have to prepare. You have to prepare. Then I was also fortunate during my interview to listen to, because once you are in the embassy, I was studying at the embassy. I had the opportunity of listening to over 50 live interviews. I knew what I could predict that they would give to this person. Not my preparation. I could predict that they would not give to this person. I mean, it was actually, but one thing that stood out for me during that experience was the school that people chose. There was a guy, he got PhD in one school, I couldn't remember that school. He got funding for that same school and was rejected. So school also matters a lot. I chose Purdue University because here, Purdue University is based in Indiana, is number 110 university for international students. Okay, so all those things, they come together. So the school is very, very important. So I wasn't able to respond to that. I quickly went to go and check his California State University. But that school did not have good ranking. It's one that there are 20 mosques in the same state that the school. So that was a challenge. All those things, they come together. So link up with me after you are done with it. I can now, I can walk you through if you don't mind. But I believe that's okay. I like you to I've got a couple of things from there. Just say go ahead.
Okay. I've already connected with you on LinkedIn.
I should have accepted. I think so.
Yeah.
All right. All right. You know what? You're gonna have a good one. I can assure you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Somebody else. Ali Muhammad, you want to say something? Tell yourself.
Please, I wanted to ask.
Yes, I'll come back to you. Yes, I'll come back to you. All right. I need to go ahead. Our main man from that side.
No, I just have a question. Like there is this thing going on in my mind. I don't know. Did you have any idea about credit transfer or something from?
Yes, it's possible. I got to know more about that 2 weeks ago. That you can actually.
So for those on YouTube,
the funds in their account, they're not sure about the funds in the account, so they need to go and do their search. So if they were to pose that kind of question to you, and then they are told me that if this account comes back as fraudulent, I would be banned from the US for life. For a young girl that wants to go to the US, of course, that's going to shake me a little bit. But you don't show them that you're scared. You might be shaking down below, but you need to be as bold as possible and understand and going there that you're an asset. You're not begging them to take you into their country. You're coming to add to their talent pool. So you need to be as bold as possible while being respectful but assertive of what you know. So, yeah.
Okay, so for example, in your DS-160, you're filling your work information as a volunteer, and you're never getting paid as a volunteer. You're not going to be paid.
What's DS-160? Remind me.
DS-160 now, the information you fill for your visa, then you submit to the embassy. Where you fill your personal information, your sponsor's information, your school, your series ID, your I-20 information, and all.
So when I was filling that form, I was a copper. I was serving the country. So I filled in my organization's name. But by the time I went for my interview, I had done my POP. And because I did not have a letter to show them that I had been retained, I just told them I have been volunteering. And I tied in.
Did you tell them you're still a student or as you're a volunteer?
I'm a volunteer.
When you were filling your information?
When I was filling my information, I was working. I was serving. So I put the organization's name.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I'll be leaving the group right now.
That's fine. That's fine. You're welcome.
Okay, I'm leaving too.
Okay. Does anybody have any question? This is also a good time to ask yourself questions and put your social media details in the chat box and connect with yourselves. Aladi, are you here?
Yeah, I'm just like checking around to see what's happening. So.
The chat box is actually disabled.
Oh, we disabled it because
I don't know.
hopefully none of you are among the spammers.
For the sake of let's be disabled. Please ask a question if you have one.
Okay, so I actually finished my BSc like 3 months ago, and then I'll be going for service next month. And those I have intentions of schooling in the US. That's by like I'm done with my service. So let's know if this course I was about to study public health, like if it's a kind of viable course to do in the US. I don't know if it's that way. Public health and community health. That's what.
Oh, sorry, I was not following. I'm chatting with people on YouTube.
Okay, that's fine. I can take the questions. Ibi, I think this question, so public health, I personally think it's a very valid course, particularly in the light of the COVID pandemic.
Exactly.
There's a need for global health practitioners, there's a need for public health practitioners. So I think it's a very valid course. But you need to identify why you're going for that course. Are you going for it because you're passionate about it, or because of monetary gains, or because it suits your personality? And I know that from time to time, they release viable fields. So fields that they are going to skyrocket in the next few years, or fields that will become obsolete, or they will go out of fashion in the next few years. So I think that's something you can do a bit of research into. But public health is always going to be valid. So that's the answer.
Okay. The actual intentions, though, like for everybody and including me, is to stay there in the US.
Yeah.
But like, I'd like to know if we
to study computer science. I want to study computer science in my graduate school because I also have like work experience working in tech for for like 2 years, 2.5 years. But the thing is, most of the schools I've been checking, I didn't meet up with the admission requirement. So, and I'm skeptical about applying for those schools and not even getting admission. And those that listed in their sites that they can offer conditional admissions, I wanted to consider them. But I asked a question earlier during the seminar about getting the funding in my first year, and I was told that it's not really possible to get a funding if I'm admitted as a conditional student. So I was having like a plan of maybe applying to study chemistry from here in Nigeria. Then maybe if I could get a funding for the first 1 year or so. But when I get there, I'm going to my first year, I'm going to draft out time to take my prerequisites for computer science, and maybe in the second year apply for a transfer to that department. And I don't know if that was going to be possible.
Oh, okay. So the thing is, what Noka said about getting, if you come in as conditional entirely disqualifies you from getting an assistantship while you are conditional. Usually those prerequisites will be like 4 courses or so. If once you pass them, you now become a full admit, and then a full admit can get assistantship. So what some schools do is, as soon as you arrive, they will allow you write the final exams for those conditional courses, for those prerequisite courses. And if you can pass them, then from day one, you become a full admit and you can get assistantship. But they can't always make sure that those exams are set after the dates for giving assistantship has passed. So even if you become a full admit after passing those exams, usually you are going to at least be without funding for the first semester. So, what you said about coming for chemistry and switching, it's possible, and I would just say is to kind of prepare your mind that you might have to go through the first year of your masters as chemistry first, because since it's what you read in your undergrad, chances that you come in and have funding is much higher. And for if you are on assistantship, if maybe your chemistry now, your department give you assistantship, taking those prerequisite courses, they'll take them as out of career, right? Which means usually they'll have to apply to the graduate school to see if they'll still want to pay for those classes for you. If you are lucky, they may pay for those classes for you. If not, you might have to pay for them out of pocket. So let's say like your department might pay for your school fees for the chemistry classes you are taking, and then you would have to pay for, which is not always a bad deal, because when you calculate everything, it might still be cheaper for you like that. So
especially because you'll be paid by your department, so you
exactly.
will be able to afford it.
So you might actually be able to afford it. So yeah, I would say it's actually smarter to come in for your chemistry and then take those prerequisite courses as a side thing. Another thing that I can recommend is that I don't know if you're interested in doing PhD at all, but what you can do if you want to switch is that you can split your program into two things. Abby, think of it from the angle of okay, one problem is coming into America. The second problem is going into the field that you want to go into. So chemistry can solve the first problem of coming to America. Then when you are done doing your chemistry, you can now apply for PhD in computer science, especially in your school. Chances that you get in and get funded is very high. And since it's from your school, you can actually finish it faster than other people finish their own PhD, because you can still kind of, you can relate it to the chemistry you get. But that's it. I know that's an option that most people don't want to go through because PhD is stressful and it's much longer. So I also wanted to make you aware of that option too.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, I hope we answered your question. Hi everyone. Does anyone have a question or anything to say?
Well done, guys. I'm going to the next room now. Thank you. I just came to say hi.
All right. See you later.
Thank you so much, Lemona and Noka. Thanks. Bye.
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 Thank you so much, Lemona and Noka.
You don't have the course.
I know current scholarship have it.
I didn't get the college cover that you were talking about here.
CON.
Okay.
ES.
Okay. This is it, right?
Yeah. ES. Aladi is here.
Yeah, I'm just taking the YouTube community around since they are not able to participate. So I'm just, this group is for Team Canada or Team what?
It's Canada.
Okay. So yeah.
New York.
Oh, there's computer science here.
Technically, we are like in the US. Check it out. This Canada US thing, question. The only disadvantage with Canada over the US is you don't have so much option. But yeah, I mean there is a clear path to immigration, like your common residence and stuff like that. If you really don't get it,
yeah. If you really don't have the money, I don't think you can really survive in Canada.
Okay, so please, I know I'm going to drag you back a little bit, but what are you guys doing? Like, can you say so that people on YouTube can kind of follow?
Okay.
Please go ahead also.
Well, you can go ahead.
So I kind of told him about my experience with someone that marketed studying Canada to me and everything he said. And he just gave me a breakdown of how doing an undergraduate study in Canada is quite expensive. How you'll be spending close to $150,000 Canadian dollar just to put your studying and everything. So he was giving me options like instead of doing that, you can just go to a college, then do your program for 1 or 2 years. Then after that, you can then decide to move to something else. Or you can apply for an undergraduate study there. Then when you get there, you switch to a college degree and all. So that's what and he gave me some suggestions of some college that are there. If things are nice and all. So.
Oh, okay. The moderator just told me that our time in the breakout room is up and she's about to end the room. So please, everyone, put it together. We need to keep with time.
We've gone 40 minutes over time.
Oh yeah, please. Okay, ma.
No problem.
All right. So at this point, we're going to wait for everyone to return back because the breakout room it's about to end. OC Lucky, I don't know if you are here already, so that you can take some questions from the YouTube community as we wait. I don't think he's here. I don't know if anyone here. Where is OC? OC, if you are here, please, can you help us? I know you are the one moderating the YouTube chats. Can you help us take 1 or 2 questions from the YouTube community? Mary, please, I'm sorry. I know I'm going against the rule, but people in the YouTube, they deserve to be heard to let us take 1 or 2 questions from there. OC, please, can you give us some questions from the YouTube chat? I don't even know if he's here already. Is he back?
Yeah, he's here. I'm trying to unmute him.
Okay. So yeah, we can just take 1 or 2 questions from the YouTube.
Hello, everyone. Some questions were asked. Trying to figure it out, but I think one question that I couldn't answer was, is it possible to come for masters and switch to accelerated course in the US? That's one. Then 2, I think I already answered this question. He or she was asking on if international students can pay with CBN rates or black market rates, stuff like that. Yeah, I already answered that. But someone was asking, can I switch from a master's program to an accelerated program? And then the second question is, if I do a summer internship as a requirement for my course, is it classified as CPT? I don't know what CPT is, but I think maybe practitioner training or so. You get it?
Who wants to take any of the questions?
So I guess the first question, he or she is trying to understand, okay, if I switch from master's to accelerated program, would that still count towards the 3 years OPT, or maybe because in Canada, like if you study for 3 years, you get 3 years postgraduate work permit, but if you still go for accelerated program, you still, which is like a 1 year, but you do 3 semesters, you still get the 3 years postgraduate work. Like it doesn't affect your the chance of you getting your 3 years postgraduate work. What they check is the load, and it's like how many hours have you spent in class and stuff like that. So I guess that's what the person is asking in this regard. I'm not sure.
I'm not familiar with a lot of the questions asked. For the last question that was asked about summer internships, counted towards CPT or OPT, please do some more research. But right now, right here, I think I can tell you that it doesn't count towards it. As much as I know, you can do an internship while you're in school and take up your OPT or CPT after you're done with school, and then it starts to count. Because the only person that I knew the internship counted for was because she was almost at the end of her program, so she needed an extended time, and that was why OPT and CPT started to count. But if you're still right in the middle of your program and you take on a summer internship, it's not supposed to count towards your OPT or your CPT. Does anybody want to attempt any of the other questions? Aladi?
Sorry, I'm here trying to like check out some other stuff, so I'm not paying attention right now.
Ojonoka, please, I've tried to unmute you. Can you? Okay, Ojonoka, do you have something to say?
Yeah. Okay. Currently unmuted. So the person wanted to find out if you can accelerate your program, right? Was that one of the questions? Okay.
Switching from accelerated program.
Switching from a regular program to an accelerated program.
Yeah, I guess that was the question.
Okay, yes. So that's possible. Once obviously you're here, you started your program, you can do that, especially if it's in the same department. You just need to talk to your graduate coordinator, because the courses you're already taking are preparing you for like a PhD, and these are things you would still need then. So it's possible. I know a lot of people actually that did that. So like, let's say you come here for masters and you change your mind, you want a PhD, you can do that, and rather than the 5 years, it will reduce how long you spend. So it's totally possible once it's in your department. I'm sure of that. If you want to change, I'm not so sure, to be honest. Then the other thing I want to add about and internship is that if you get one, you just need to make sure that it's under 12 months. It has to be 11 months, because once you take your CPT or internship over a year or up to a year, you've cancelled your OPT. So you need to make sure that your CPT is 0 to 11 months. Make sure you don't go over it, else you wouldn't have OPT, which is like the after school practical training, 1 year or 3 years, depending on what you're studying. So those are the two things. I think that has answered it.
Thank you very much. I don't know. I saw David raising up his hand. David, do you still have something to say?
Yes, I wanted to contribute, but Ojonoka, she has actually handled it. But what I just want to say to enlighten us is that once you come in for a program, you can switch, but you have to be careful of switching something that will affect your service record. The service records are the records that are put together on your immigration data with US. Okay, one of them is that if you want to change school, okay, that means that your itinerary will need to be changed, and that will affect. Now, it's possible you can go ahead, but all these changes might come back later to affect you in a way. So if you want to transfer for an accelerated record, just like Ojonoka said, let it be in your department if possible. Or your school so that it will not affect your record. Because that would be very important because reference will make to it. This is when you now want to, when the company wants to file for you, maybe to get you your permanent resident and all that. So that was what I want to add to what you said.
Thank you very much. Thank you. OC.
Yeah, OC is the one moderating the YouTube. So are we still able to take one more, or let's just call it a quit with the YouTube Q&A?
I think we should. We've gone almost 3 hours, right?
I know, right?
But I think maybe now we can get feedback on if the event has been beneficial, if there's anything anybody wants to say for the next 5 minutes.
Okay. If you want to say something, just raise your hand and the moderator will unmute you.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Trying to see. Okay, oh, still okay. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the question from the YouTube chat says, "Hi guys, I'm waiting for my decision from Florida State University and Louisiana State University, but I want to use Empower financing. So I guess he or she is asking if it's okay to use Empower financing. Okay, I think it's financing from federal government, like in Nigeria. So he or she's asking if you can use that for like funding.
I don't know if you got us, but Mary said we have exhausted the time and we're not taking any more questions. We're only, is that not what Mary said?
Or... Yes, that's what I said. But if there is an answer to this question, since it has already been asked, I think, yeah. Ojono, I'm trying to unmute you so that you can say something because your hand is raised.
Sorry, I think that was from earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, David.
All right, let me quickly shoot that. Now, that Empower financing, the person that asked the question really needs to clarify because there is a particular system that supports international students here in the US called Empower financing. Okay? And there is actually another one from Nigeria. So he or she needs to know which one. Okay? So that you can know, but you can get funding from loans as long as they pay your tuition ahead, fine. But you cannot go with a promissory note from any loan from any organization that they will fund your program. Okay, that won't count. But if you have funded your program ahead, fantastic. So any loan support you can get for your program and they are able to pay your tuition ahead, you can go for it. So that's what I would say.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So that's going to be all for questions today. And if there are no contributions, I will pass it over to Aladi so we can call it a day. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. It's been an amazing time, and I really hope that we've all learned a thing or two. So, Aladi, over to you.
Okay, let me put on my video. let me try to get this together. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for joining this event. We really do appreciate you. And sorry for whatever happened in between. I mean, because we wanted to be able to let the audience share their video and all, I think the next one, we're going to lock it like guests wouldn't be able to share their video or audio. It's just going to be like a form of a webinar or something, but I would discuss that with the team. So I also want to give a special shout out to Mr. Augustus, Ms. Noka, and our host guest Miriam, I really want to appreciate you guys for taking time out of your busy schedules to spend your Saturday with us. Mind you, in the US, this is morning, so people woke up very early to join this meeting. So I really do appreciate. And for those of you who are still watching on YouTube, I'm so sorry that you guys got kicked out, especially those who were in the meeting. But we kind of warned you guys ahead. Please, next time, if you want to join a meeting, join with your name and stay unmuted, because if you stay muted rather, because if you're muted, you are just a suspect. There's no way we'll know who you really are. Or if you don't want to be kicked out, maybe keep your video on and then we see an actual person. These are ways we could like improve later. This is like the first of its kind that we are hosting, so we're learning. So just forgive us, bear with us, and if you have any suggestions, you can send them to us on our Instagram, and and we'll try to like put that into consideration next time we're hosting something like this. Thank you guys. Thank you to our wonderful team at A Bird Eye for putting this together. Look at this beautiful flyer behind me. I couldn't have done it by myself. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I am truly, truly, truly grateful. So, Mary, I think thank you, our wonderful moderator. So I'll hand over to you. I am done.
All right. Yeah. There's really not much to say except for we are going to be having another event next week. Same time, same place. Link will be communicated to you because of the coming week. We're going to be talking about securing the bag as an international student. Yay. Everybody wants to japa. Everybody wants to leave. How will you make your japa permanent? So that people that have seen you abroad will not say, my sister, when did you come back? So, yes, come, let's put our head together on how to make this japa season permanent, secure the bag, and live a comfortable life while you're a student. Thank you very much, everybody. Yes. And have an awesome rest of your day.
Yes, and really nice guests will be coming. People that have done that have walked the path. So even if you're not in US, you're welcome to attend. Okay, it's not limited to only people in the US or already in the abroad, but just come. Okay, I would just stay back for like. Okay, sorry, Noka.
Ojonoka, do you want to say something?
Oh no! Well, thank you everyone who came. It was such an amazing event.
Thank you, Noka. I'm sorry for the trauma.
That's fine.
I'm so sorry. I'll just sit back for another like maybe 5 minutes to just chat with anyone that wants to put their video on. So let's just chat. Let's just talk. I'll probably I'm gonna end this on YouTube. I think we should already end it on YouTube so that this would just be more like people in the Zoom. Mary, what do you think? Are you still here?
I have to leave now.
Mary, is that you or Noka? Who is talking?
That's Noka.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Noka. Bye. Let's end. Thanks, everyone.